And welcome in to the Inside Edge Network, everybody. Omar Claussell to my right, the new host of the morning show here on the Inside Edge Network. Bryan to my left, your left, my co-host here, or your co-host on Inside Edge Primetime here on the Inside Edge Network, 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock here on the Inside Edge Network. I'm Eli Moon. I do some things here and there. I'm producing some shows. I'm hosting some shows. I do some things. We are going to be doing some Cavs Game 2 post-game here on the Inside Edge Network as the Cavs and Knicks are just wrapping up. We wanted to get on here with you, so we are ready as soon as the game ends. It has been a troublesome game for the Cavaliers. We'll react to all of that for the next hour or so. Cavaliers right now, if you're not tuned in, they are down 109-93 to the New York Knicks with 42 seconds left in the game. It is winding down here, folks, and they're going to shoot probably a few more free throws, and that'll probably be the ball game. Now, a lot of people are feeling like, this has been a rough week for Cleveland, right? The Cavs lose game 1 on Tuesday in a heartbreaking fashion, a 22-point game, and that just lead evaporates. They go to overtime, they lose that game. And then you look at the fact that the Cavs are in the same spot, except for the fact that they just never played good basketball tonight. And again, we'll react to all of that. But that mixed with the Cleveland Browns not playing very well, in 7-on-7s, for goodness sakes. It seems like the Guardians seem to be the only team really to rely on right now in Cleveland. So if you've been having a rough week, Clevelanders, as Cleveland's digital leader, we understand. So we're going to go ahead and just usher it in with this Cleveland video that Chad played, and we'll get to our post-game reaction here about the Cleveland Cavaliers as they fall to the New York Knicks in Game 2.
Yeah, I like to hold my timeouts.
Welcome to Cleveland.
We got a little unlucky.
Welcome to Cleveland.
We played great basketball tonight for, 3 quarters. They dominated us in the fourth quarter.
Welcome to Cleveland.
He didn't want to use none of his timeouts.
Welcome to Cleveland.
Call the timeout, Kenny, and curse him out.
Welcome to Cleveland.
He has to stop this. This protecting James Harden. James Harden has looked horrible in Game 6 of last series, Game 7, and Game 1. Because when you go out on a limb too much to protect one individual, you might lose the rest of your locker room.
And we were great for 3 quarters. Like, really, really great.
Welcome to Cleveland.
We threw interceptions in 7-on-7, for God's sakes. I mean, who does that? There's no pass rush. It's embarrassing.
Welcome to Cleveland.
Of course, that video produced by our one and only Bryan. And if that's how you're feeling, Cleveland, you're not alone. Again, Omar Claussell to my right, your right. Again, the host of the new morning show here on the Inside Edge Network. Bryan to my left, your left, co-host of Inside Edge Primetime. You'll be seeing him back on a very, very exciting return of illegal formation. So we'll be seeing that going on here. We'll have more details on that later on, of course. But a lot of great stuff here. Not great, the Cleveland Cavaliers, right? They dropped Game 2 to the New York Knicks, 109-93. 16-point loss for the Cavaliers, guys, in Madison Square Garden. And it just never looked pretty for these guys, right? The Cavs, the least what you could say about Game 1, hey, we had a 22-point lead. We should have won the game, and, we can build on that. And Kenny Atkinson, he doubled down. He said, you know what, James Harden, you're the best isolation defender on the team. You know what, James Harden, you're the reason we are in this position we're in. Hey, you know what, James Harden?
Right. They were really good for 3 quarters. I mean, that's all. Hey, that's it. That's fine. That's all you get. They were really awesome for 3 quarters.
And I'll lead.
Forgot about the fourth.
And I'll lead with this, right? And I'll ask you guys, and we'll start with you, Chad, and then we can pivot over to Omar. We'll hand the baton off to him. I mean, I guess, first off, what are your early takeaways? Because when I look at this box score, Donovan Mitchell, 8 of 18, 26 points. Can't be too mad at Donovan. I guess you could say, I wish you'd be a little bit more aggressive, because 26 points on a box score is not always going to be indicative of how the game was run. And I think just studying a box score is not always going to do that. But I think the big thing again here is just not enough, right? I point to the guys on the bench tonight, and I know, we're not going to always want to hear it, but in games like this, Max Strus not shooting as well as he's been the first few rounds tonight, 1 for 7, another pretty rough night, 5 points. You're getting out of Schroeder, Merrill, Strus, and Tyson. You got 17 points out of those guys. Chad, what was your main takeaway? Because I think the bench is not doing anything, is not helping. Sure, you can get the start a little bit more, but we have nothing after the starting 5 go off this floor.
Yeah, they got to find somebody that's consistent from the floor somewhere. Shooting was terrible tonight. 31 of 80 from the floor. 9 of 35 from the 3-point line. And I know some of that is just kind of chucking up threes at the end, trying to come back when you're down, 500 in the fourth quarter. But I don't know. The Knicks had no problem coming down 22 the other night, from 22 the other night. So
yeah,
I don't know. I mean, they only turned the ball over 8 times. Like you can't put it on turnovers, right? I thought the defensive effort was good early. I saw guys actually moving their feet. I saw, James Harden pulled up and let a couple guys go by and get some easy buckets. But you're going to get that with James Harden. He's 81 years old. It's fine. Yeah. But I don't know. You've got to shoot. They can't put a full game together, right? And I don't even mean 48 minutes. I mean like they can't have a good defensive effort plus a good shooting effort plus a little bit of hustle on the boards. I mean, look at the assists tonight. 32 assists for the New York Knicks, 15 for the Cavs. Again, the ball movement really just wasn't there. And when it was there, you don't have guys knocking down open shots. And if you're going to get these guys, like you said, Sam Merrill, Max Strus, Dean Wade, if you're going to get them open shots, one of those guys has to be knocking those shots down. Somebody has to be hitting threes, wide open threes. Mobley hit a couple threes early. I thought, okay, maybe we're going to get one of these nights that I talked about from Mobley, like a 30-15, 30-18 kind of a night. He ended up with 14 points and 6 rebounds, and he came out on fire, right? He had 8 points in the first, 5 minutes of the game.
Right. Right.
And with 14 is wild that you would actually go away from that. He just really didn't get that many touches or that many good looks for the rest of the game. And I don't know. We've said it. I think through every series, the Cavs, I just don't really think they know exactly what their identity is. And maybe that's part of trying to figure this whole thing out with James Harden, but man, they don't move very well on defense. When you get later in the game, they just sort of get lazy on closing shots. They just don't move to get to the point where they can even play sound defense. It's just bad angles, bad movement. It's just bad.
It is. It's really a tough thing to watch, right? Because I think we've talked about the pick and roll being the identity of this Cavaliers team when they got ball movement. You've brought it up even yourself, Chad, here on this network about, Kenny Atkinson came over from Golden State. The big idea was ball movement, and the Cavaliers lacked a lot of that. The ball movement came, but it was because the Knicks were applying the pressure. They were really pressing them as soon as they got past half court, and that was just something struggling to see it, tough to see, whatever, devastating. In my mind, it was tough to watch. Now they're down 0-2, the Cavaliers heading back to Cleveland. Omar, what were some of your takeaways, my bro? About this 16-point loss. Cavaliers now 2 double-digit losses in New York, and I think that's crazy to think about.
Yeah, man, it's extremely frustrating. I can't even watch the games. Like, I have to listen because they're just so slow. They look sluggish. It's really incredibly frustrating to watch. And I feel for the fans. I really do. Because Eli and I talked, going into this series, we didn't expect the Cavs to even come out of the last series. This team it's so damn frustrating because they have the potential, but you knew getting James Harden what he was, right? Harden's going to play Harden ball in the playoffs. It's just what it is, yep. Right? So I think the core of players here not meshing well clearly falls on, the GM and everything like that, because this team, the core is not good enough. We don't have a star player. We don't have somebody to go out and drop points when we need to.
Yeah, we've got players with big names. They're stars in that sense, but there's no there's no vocal leader on this team.
No.
There's nobody that can take this team and get them settled down when they get into these runs where they're in these 11, 13, 15-0 runs on the bad side of it. There's no one to calm them down and get them back into whatever was working, right? Whatever it is. Tonight it was nothing. So maybe maybe that's just a physical thing tonight. But you need someone that people will say all kinds of things about LeBron, but if you remember, I mean, you watch LeBron when he was out of the game. I mean, he was literally right there. He was coaching, right? You could always see him like he was a floor general, man. They don't have a floor general. They have a lot of really nice guys, and they have some pretty good basketball players. They have the most expensive roster in the league, and they don't have a core four. They have a core poor right now. They're it's just really frustrating to watch, Omar, like you said, because the potential is there, but no one really acts like they want to step up and take the reins and be the leader, whether it's to go out and get buckets. I mean, James Harden I don't think he has it in his legs anymore. But don't worry, we're going to extend him to like an 8-year contract. So he's going to play here until he's 45 and everything will be fine. So, I mean, I don't know. It's frustrating because they have it in them, right? They have it. They can do it at times, but they can't always pull it out of the hat. It's like sometimes they reach in for the rabbit and they pull out like just a pile of something maybe you don't want in your hand. I don't want to say it because we went through it the other night in the group chat. But I don't know. Somebody needs to step up and be the vocal and the physical leader on the court for this team, and it probably should be the same player. This is Donovan Mitchell's team. He's got to step up and be that guy.
Exactly. Exactly, Chad. And not to interrupt you, but that's exactly why, you box score, you can search the box score and all you want, whatever. 26, I believe, for Donovan tonight is what I said. Yep, 26 on 8-18 shooting. Yeah, I mean, I get it. No, only one turnover for the guy. But all at the end of the day, it's like, I don't care about the box score. 26 is just not enough for a guy that at one point was averaging over 30 in game ones. I mean, an impact player above and beyond. So it's a big difference. And, Double A's mentioned it on Midnight Run, which you can catch here on the Inside Edge Network right after us here tonight. It'll be one stream. So be on at midnight, Double A. He'll be here brewing that Keurig, very soon. So make sure you listen for that. That's when we know to get the heck out of here. But again, we're here with you for over the next hour. I just think
that's
the big
example of being a vocal leader. We hear the Keurig, it's time to go, right? Like,
exactly. Yeah, he lets us know. Like, hey, I'm boxing out.
Keurig, man. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, he's boxing out. You know what I'm saying? He's doing his thing. And the Cavaliers weren't, unfortunately. And that's what the most frustrating thing is. You think about it. Donovan, the big question is he a B+ guy like Double A asks, or is he an A+ guy? And we're not getting the production out of the guys. They're nice box scores. Yes, they're efficient, but they're not like go change the game, right? Yeah. You look at Jared Allen. I know, 13 points, 10 rebounds, he had a couple blocks, 5 of 10 shooting, but why isn't he taking the ball into his hands more? Where's the pick and roll to get him involved? Evan Mobley, 14 points, he shot well from the floor, 5 of 8. Why can't he get another 5 shots? And really, those guys in the front court are going to make a difference. But here's the reality. You cannot let Josh Hart absolutely piece you up. Josh Hart went to town tonight. Yeah. He had 26 points on 10 of 21 shooting. He had 4 rebounds, 7 assists, 2 steals. The guy, he only turned the ball over once, and he was moving a lot with the ball in his hands. And I mentioned Josh Hart before this series started, that he can play damn near every position for the New York Knicks, 1 through 5, if they need him to. He's an impact player for those guys. And tonight, it was a Josh Hart game for the New York Knicks. You got to think about that. The fact that they did this with Jalen Brunson only getting 19 on 7 of 16 shooting. I know not terrible from the floor shooting wise, but just not the 38-point piece up he did on James Harden the other night. So that's what scares me. Exactly. And that's what scares me. You look at some of these comments coming in here, right? We have Paul Drayden, 5753. He's asking, it's Paul, I hate to break it to you, pal. We are Cleveland's digital leader. I don't think, he says, I've been a Knicks fan since Bernard King Roy Sparrow. Is it possible that somebody can do me a solid and tell me the game for tickets, please? We can tell you that your probably best bet is looking online just like anybody else, Paul.
Well, listen, there are going to be a lot of season ticket holders that probably don't want to go sit in those seats for Game 3, Paul. So you might have that going for you. If you look online a little bit closer to the game, you might be able to find something. It will cost nearly as much as it would have in Madison Square Garden, so you might be good there.
Absolutely. And Paul, went on to say, you beat Detroit, so you're not a bad team. You just came up against a New York team that just is running over people. It's not your fault, and that's how they feel out there in New York City. And Paul, we appreciate you tuning in. It sounds like from New York. Thank you so much. And hey, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you can stay locked in with everything we got going on here in Cleveland and nationwide as well.
And he's right.
Absolutely. Sure. We had Raul also chiming in here. They battled in my best Hugh Jackson voice. Yes, it is one of those days, Raul. I'll tell you, pal. And then, of course, for the commissioner's couch, we have David Calhoun checking in. Says James Harden is washed. A lot to take in there. Guys.
If Raul's still in the Raul, do you think Cody Kessler could shoot the three? I mean, maybe we can.
I don't know.
I mean, Hugh Jackson's always tied to Cody Kessler in my mind. Trust me. I don't know. It's just the way I think.
Yeah, trust me. And that's what it feels like with Kenny Atkinson. That's a great pivot there, Chad, because that's what it feels like Kenny Atkinson saying with this team, with James Harden. I mentioned yesterday on Primetime that Kenny Atkinson basically seatbelted himself, tied them together and said, I'm with James Harden. If we go down, we're going down together. And I guess if that's the way you want to go down, Kenny Atkinson, I never thought that'd be the way you lose your coaching spot here in Cleveland. But, you add in the multiple playoff exits. And yes, and I mentioned, let me just be clear. I hate to be like I told you so, but everybody in Cleveland and across this network for the most part was, the roster is safe. Kenny's safe. Don't worry. They made it to the Eastern Conference Finals. And now here we are. As I mentioned, Dan Gilbert's not going to put up with these type of embarrassing losses. Kobe Altman, if he gets to keep his GM position, because again, he helped orchestrate the Garland for Harden trade. If he gets to keep his job, he's not going to put up with these types of performances from this team. 2 double-digit losses in the Eastern Conference Finals. If they get swept or lose in 5, it's about as good as not getting there, in my opinion. I know the achievement, but if you don't do anything with it, does it really matter at the end of the day? So I think.
Agree. Yeah, I agree. Listen, the Knicks are a really good team, and we knew that coming in. We knew they were going to be tough. I told you this might be a 5-game series anyway. And that's before the Cavs should have stolen game 1 and lost in such heartbreaking fashion, right? We knew it was going to be a tough series. But, yeah, I agree with you. I mean, if they're getting and listen, the Knicks are hot right now. I get that too. But the Cavs have the most expensive roster in the NBA. They shouldn't be able to be exposed at this level, at this frequency. It's easy for the Knicks right now. They don't even really have to they don't have to try. I mean,
yeah. And you think about this, Omar, right? I'm curious your thoughts as well. You look at the Cavs, right? And when you think of these teams, now mind you, this is the first time they're back in the Eastern Conference Finals since 2018. It's been 8 years. When you think of those 2018 teams, they had guys at times, Kendrick Perkins or even Tristan Thompson, get a little physical, but it's guys that would get physical with this team. It truly seems like the soul has been snatched out of the Cleveland Cavaliers since game 1 in the fourth quarter, and they haven't got it back since, right? Because they just
completely
continue to get bodied. Yeah, continue to get bodied. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this team is so soft that it's like Cottonelle.
Yeah.
And that's how their defense is. People
so if they come home knowing they win games 3 and 4, are we going to feel better, Omar? Or are we going to go, well?
No. I haven't felt good about this team since we got into the playoffs.
That's fair. Yeah.
Not at all.
Surprised us a couple of times, but yeah.
And you know what? I'd rather be surprised.
Fair.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you see that, Omar, and that you bring up a great point. A lot of people here in Cleveland are feeling a little uneasy. This wasn't the number 1 seed Cavaliers of last year heading into the playoffs with huge expectations. The expectations were there, but it's because, hey, when are you finally going to get over the hump? And to a lot of people, they got over the hump when they won that second-round series against the Detroit Pistons. Unfortunately, you play in the NBA to win an NBA championship, and when you have guys like Donovan Mitchell that are trying, the NBA is trying with all their might to make him the face of the league. They are trying, putting him in every commercial, everything you could think of. They are trying. And you have James Harden, a perpetual playoff contender. That is one thing we can say positively, is James Harden will consistently be around the Larry O'Brien trophy. He'll hover around it. He just will be in that second or third tier in the atmosphere of the playoffs. He'll never be in
I'm just waiting for the game until he gets exposed.
Well, it already happened.
That's all I was doing. That's all I was doing.
Yeah.
Like this entire playoff series. I was just waiting for the game that James Harden was going to get exposed.
Yeah, exactly, Omar. You bring up a great point. Game 1, 21 times he was singled out as the isolation defender, and they took him to town. They cooked him, and it just doesn't make any sense. What is Kenny Atkinson telling his team in the locker room? What are the leaders of this team talking about?
He's telling them he's proud of them. He's telling them they're doing great, Eli. You heard it after game 1. I'm so proud of these guys. I'm proud to have blown this 22-point lead with 9 minutes to go, where we had a 99.9% chance to win, according to the ESPN stupid meter, whatever that thing is. I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's not called a stupid meter, but
no, stats and I think analytics, pal.
Oh, okay, that's the thing. Yeah, it's not stupid meter. But he's telling me he's proud of them. You have to. Is he overwhelmed? Like, do we? I don't know. Maybe NBA players make too much money. Maybe it's a situation where you can't bring in a guy to coach guys that are making 15 times more than they are. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't know where something is getting. The message isn't getting to the team, or it's not getting from Kenny Atkinson. Something's happening. There's a disconnect here, because we're all like, what the hell was wrong with the cat? What's going on? And Atkinson the next day is hey, I'm proud of these guys. I'm so proud of these guys. And listen, I get it. Like if they were just overmatched, fine. But even in the Detroit series when it went 7 games, on paper, if you look at the rosters, I mean the Pistons were Cade Cunningham and just kind of like everybody else, right? They didn't really have a second scoring option, but the Cavs made that series probably that should have been over in 5 or 6 games, but they let it go to 7. Couldn't close it out a game, in Game 6 at home. Went on the road and won Game 7. They surprised us all. They made us happy. They made us feel like, hey, maybe there's a chance. Although I told you at the start of the Raptors series, everybody's like, everybody feeling good? I'm like, I'm uneasy. I don't feel great.
Yeah.
Right? Like this team doesn't look like they're going to go out and win a championship. And sometimes teams surprise you. Sometimes that happens, and you're like, wow, I didn't think they had it in them. But I don't think this team has it in them. And I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just too many nice guys on the floor. Maybe they need to bring some guys in off the bench. You got Jalen Tyson who's willing to go out there and be physical, but he gets 10 minutes a night, if that. And it's not like I get it. He's not a scorer, but I mean, what did James Harden do in the final 9 minutes of the game of Game 1, right? Like, why was he out there?
Right.
Jalen Tyson doesn't play because he's not a threat offensively. Well, James Harden looked like he was in the middle of a bowling alley with socks on. Like he couldn't do anything, right? He's just, I don't know, man.
It's frustrating, right? And you see just like a lack of bench support. The Stars not going to that next echelon, of where we need them to be to get to the finals. That is the conversation. Do you want to be in the NBA Finals, or are the New York Knicks going to be celebrating? You'll hear the New York City fans saying "Bing Bong" and everything else they say out there, and be celebrating their first NBA Finals appearance in quite some time, right? So
I don't hate the Bing Bong thing, by the way. Sorry, I'm sorry.
It's very controversial. Some people like the Bing Bong, some people don't. But yeah, absolutely. Well, hey. We also had a comment before we go to break here. We'll come back. Obviously, again, we're with you for the next hour, Cavs postgame. They do lose tonight to New York Knicks, 109-93 in Game 2. Down 0-2 going back to Cleveland. But Side Hustle Podcast 216, which you can hear Friday mornings here on the Inside Edge Network with Kyle Cornell and Anthony Alford. And I got a hunch this is Kyle Cornell from Unfiltered, weekdays 5 to 6 p.m. here on the Inside Edge Network. He says, no words, no effort, no passion. Knicks in 4 and Jason Kidd, come on down. That's why I feel like it's Kyle, because Kyle and I have been talking a little bit about Jason Kidd after he was released, moved on from and fired from the Dallas Mavericks. Yeah. So I think that's Kyle. And Kyle, hey, at this point, bud, I think we are all in agreement that this Cavaliers team doesn't have the mental toughness. They've had the soul snatched out of them since Game 1. And unless they have 2 dominant wins, and I'm not saying just scrape by, you win a 3-point game in Game 3, I'm not going to feel good about that. They have to absolutely dominate. So, yeah, we'll keep an eye on all that. I know Chad and Omar are going to have a ton of thoughts. Yeah, Chad, I know you got some thoughts. We're going to go to break real quick here. We're going to hear some station identification. We're going to hear a few words from a few of our great partners. Then we're back here. Omar Claussell, again, our morning show host. If you didn't hear it last night, Midnight Run announced with Anthony Alford and myself that he will be hosting June 1st, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. here on the Inside Edge Network. Chad Bryan to my left, your left. He's on InsideEdge Primetime. He does a lot as well across the network. Both these guys are great human beings, and I'm proud of both of them. We're going to rock with you here. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow everything at InsideEdge Net on all the socials. Of course, you stay locked in with us. Hit that notification bell so you know when we're going live with daily and weekly coverage and all of our Cavaliers post-game coverage for as long as they're in the playoffs. We'll keep an eye on that. And the website, InsideEdgeNetwork.com. Again, InsideEdgeNetwork.com. Go check out the personalities page. You can read about Omar, Chad, myself, and all of your favorite personalities here on the Inside Edge Network. You can go to our partners page and hear from Fanatics.com, AlleyRoseFragrances.com, W Energy, Monster Moments, and SportsMemorabilia.com. All of our great partners couldn't do it without you. We can't do it without you at home. So we appreciate you. Grab a bit of caffeine, grab some dinner, whatever you need. If you need a cigarette after this Cavaliers game, I'm not going to blame you. Go ahead. But while you're doing so, check out the shop and go use the promo code INSIDER so you can get 20% off your entire order, mugs, shirts, polos, all that great stuff, hats, and that's all at InsideEdgeNetwork.com. All right, quick station identification and a few words from our partners. We're back breaking down this mess. That is the Cleveland Cavaliers. They fall 109-93, Game 2 to the New York Knicks. Back after this.
Discover our collection of handcrafted candles. That's right, every product is thoughtfully created in small batches free from harmful toxins for mindful everyday indulgence. Our candles are hand-poured in coconut soy wax with natural wood wicks, offering a long-lasting burn and rich fragrances. Create a cozy, safe ambiance for your home with candles from Alley Rose Fragrances. First-time customers use the promo code InsideEdge20 to receive 20% off your order. AlleyRoseFragrances.com, proud sponsor of the Inside Edge Podcast Network. You guys want to show one Unfiltered today. Great talk with Omar Claussell, of course, hosting the morning show starting on June 1st. Do not forget about that. Excited for tomorrow's show. What happened with the Cavs? Did they get the job done? Are we going back to Cleveland 1-1, or did more of the same happen in New York? We're going to break that down. Plus, after skirting away from us, escaping my grasps on Thursday, Jake Underwood joins us at 5:30 on Friday to talk about news and notes from the area. All that and more coming up on Unfiltered right here, 5 o'clock Friday on the Inside Edge Network. Find us on InsideEdgeNetwork.com for the latest information on your favorite shows, personalities, and network partners. Plus, guess what? We have a merch shop. That's right, we have network polos, t-shirts, champion jackets, hats, and bottles. Rep the network. Every purchase supports independent sports and entertainment media. Use the QR code on your screen right now to check out InsideEdgeNetwork.com. That's InsideEdgeNetwork.com. Clean energy, bold flavors, and no jitters. See why people won't shut up about Dubby. Clean energy, no jitters or crash. Whether you're starting your workday or getting ready to exercise, Dubby Energy helps you lock in and focus. With over 15 flavors to choose from, you can't miss. Order Dubby Energy right now by using the QR code on your screen and use the promo code InsideEdge10 to receive 10% off your order. Dubby Energy, your energy-focused sponsor of the Inside Edge Network, Cleveland's digital leader.
Fanatics isn't just our name, it's who we are. Loyal, passionate fans dedicated to our favorite teams and to the sports we love. That's why we're honored to be able to offer fans the world's largest collection of official sports apparel and sports jerseys from all the leagues, teams, and players you love. We feature a wide selection of gear from every league, including NFL, MLB, NBA, NHL, and NCAA merchandise, which allows us to serve fans of football, baseball, hockey, basketball, lacrosse, soccer, golf, and everything else that gets your heart pumping. Go to Fanatics.com by using the QR code on your screen right now to celebrate your teams.
And welcome back to Cavs Game 2 Postgame, mixed with a little Inside Edge Primetime. We are going six-man tag with this one, as we have Omar Claussell, our bro, the host of the new morning show here on the Inside Edge Network. Chad Bryan in the middle, because I'm in the middle, actually. Chad Bryan to my left. Oh, my goodness. Sometimes I get mixed up. It's like a roller coaster out here. And then Omar Claussell to my right, you're right. It's crazy. Chad, I'm going to need you to unmute yourself. I know you're sad about the Cavaliers, but you have to unmute yourself, pal. We are rocking and rolling. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow, all that great stuff at Inside Edge Net, so you stay locked in with what we're doing now, Cavaliers postgame, and all the great coverage. As we talked about our daily shows, a lot of great coverage on Filter with Kyle Cornell, 5 to 6 p.m. here on the Inside Edge Network. Weekdays, Inside Edge Primetime, Chad and I, 10 to 11 here, weeknights on the Inside Edge Network. And Midnight Run with Anthony Alford, midnight to 1 weeknights here on the Inside Edge Network. That's Monday through Friday. Of course, we'll have Omar in the fold June 1st with the morning show. He will be with you 9 a.m. to 11 a.m., getting you up and rolling. A cup of Joe with O in the morning. How about that? We love it. We love it. So like, subscribe, follow Inside Edge Net. Stay locked in with our daily program and our weekly shows as well. Real Talk with Pop Moon, Saturdays at 5. Jersey Chasers, Wednesday, 7:30. We have a lot of great program. Voice of the Land, Thursdays at 6. A lot of exciting announcements to keep coming. So we'll keep giving it to you. InsideEdgeNetwork.com is where you're going to want to go and check out the personalities page, read all about us if you'd like. And of course, you're going to want to go to the partners page, check out our great partners, of course, Fanatics.com, SportsMemorabilia.com, AlleyRoseFragrances.com, Monster Moments, and of course, sportsmemorabilia.com. A lot of great stuff. And W Energy. How about that? W Energy as well. Promo code INSIDER for the shop. 20% off your order. Mugs, shirts, polos, hats, all the great stuff. 20% off your order. If we get 10 purchases before the end of May, this will put a smile on your face. You won't see this long hair anymore. Kyle Cornell will shave it at the beginning and all the way to the end of an episode of Unfiltered. It'll probably take him a while. A lot of hair here. InsideEdgeNetwork.com is where you're going to want to be. Put a smile on your face for a moment. Let's get back serious for a moment. The Cavaliers lose to New York Knicks 109-93 in Game 2. They drop 0-2 now in this series as Madison Square Garden is rocking, and the New York Knicks fans can smell the NBA Finals. They are 2 games away from the NBA Finals. Sure feels like 1 game away as the Cavaliers, they cannot afford to go down 3-0. They are in a position where they have to win both in Cleveland now. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. We're trying to break down just what the heck is going on with this team. Chad, I saw you. I've done enough shows with you now for about 6 months on Inside Edge Primetime to know when you have something to get off your mind. And I saw you about to say something right before we went to break. I want to kick it back to you here. You had some thoughts on these Cavaliers. What's on your mind, my bro?
Well, I feel like then you should also know that you've done enough shows with me to know that enough time has passed that I'm old and I forgot what I was going to say before.
Nice.
That happens. But no, we got the text during the break there that Evan Mobley's last field goal came late in the second quarter. And I'm trying to figure out how that's acceptable. I mean, the Knicks aren't such bullies down low that Jarrett Allen and Evan Mobley can't get the basketball, right? This is just, again, this is putting the ball in James Harden's hands and saying, hey, man, go make plays at this stage of the playoffs, which basically you've never done.
Yeah.
This is not in your pedigree. This isn't your track record. This isn't who you are. It's never been who you are. He's always been he's a great regular season player, right? Great. Great scorer at one time. I mean, again, 17 years in the league. I'm not throwing shots at James Harden right now. I'm just saying 17 years is going to take its toll on anybody, right? Except for LeBron, because he's not human. And I'm not saying LeBron is even at his, stage that he was at, 15 years ago or whatever, 10 years ago. It's just, maybe Kenny Atkinson hasn't looked at this roster. Maybe he doesn't realize sometimes who he's got on the team. Why do you go away from Evan Mobley? He was red hot at the start of the game. Do you not just maybe try a little heat check through Mobley and see hey, maybe he can carry us tonight, right? And I know he's not going to bring the ball up the floor and you're not going to run ISO ball with Mobley, but that's all the more reason to run the offense through him. And I know he's not even really a great passer. It's not like you've got Cat out there, right? There's no Karl Anthony Towns. There's no Jokic on this team. There's no big guy who can see the whole floor and, you can run him up to the elbow and get him the ball and let him, whatever. If there's cutters open, he finds the cutter. If there's shooters open on the wing, he finds the shooter. I get it. We don't have that guy, but Mobley has the ability at times to take over a game. It's just either he won't do it or the Cavs won't let him do it. And I don't mean the Cavs players. I mean Kenny Atkinson. They're just not running the ball through the low post as much as I thought they would try to do. We talked about, being able to defend the wings and do this and that, whatever. And every time I say wings, it makes me hungry.
I know.
So we'll just say 3 and D, guys. That doesn't make me hungry. But it's frustrating because it's like once the Cavs identify a problem that they're having, they try to make a switch. That doesn't work, right? And they don't really adjust well to whatever the Knicks have been doing in the first 2 games. Well, they were doing fine the first 3 quarters. And honestly, the Knicks were just playing awful the first 3 quarters of game 1. Let's just say that's what it was, right? The Cavs weren't necessarily doing anything to stop them or to blow them out, but they were blowing them out. And then the Knicks finally woke up, and I think maybe that was the whole rust versus rest thing. I think they just shook the rust off with about 10 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, and they finally started playing New York Knicks basketball. And guys, I mean, as we thought heading into the series, it looks like it's just going to be a little bit too much. And for the Cavs anyway. And I think, honestly, the Knicks are the only team right now left in the playoffs that can compete with the Spurs or the Thunder, whoever comes out of that, the West. I would fully expect if the Cavs somehow found a way, like if the Knicks stopped showing up for games in this series and the Cavs found a way to come back and win, like maybe they just missed the bus or something, just get disinterested. I would expect a sweep. think the Cavs would compete with the Spurs and the Thunder. I don't think they can match up.
Well, I think the only way we get out of this series is trusting the bigs, which Kenny is allergic to.
Yeah.
He's just telling Donovan and Harden to go out there and dribble the leather off the ball, and our bigs are just out there in nowhere's land.
Yeah.
No man's land. Just
You're using Evan Mobley as a floor spacer. He's like a point threat out there. It's wild to me. And I get it. Like Kyle said the other night. I mean, Kyle played basketball at a higher level, and there are times when I watch the game on the floor. Maybe I don't fully understand what I'm seeing, but I have eyes, right? I can see certain things. And for Kenny Atkinson to say after game one that James Harden is the best ISO defender on this team, I mean, there's used car salesmen and there's snake oils, whatever. Come on, man. Like, you have to be lying to us, right? You are lying through your face, right?
Yeah.
He can't believe that, can he?
Well, and you look at all this, right? Kenny's comments and Omar, you bring up the bigs, right? And the bigs, to your point, they were efficient for the most part. Jared Allen, 5 of 10 from the floor, 50% shooting. Evan Mobley, 5 of 8 from the floor. Chad, you mentioned it was just under 2 minutes left in the game. The second quarter. 1 minute and 44 seconds left in the second quarter. This is courtesy of RealCavsFans.com, where Mobley's last field goal attempted. That's just unacceptable. And they were hitting at a high clip. So you imagine, 5 to 10 more shots for both of those guys, or at least combined, you maybe have a little bit more efficiency there. So, man, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. And you wonder, right, where do you go from here? Josh Hart, now keep in mind, 26 points tonight. He absolutely cooked the Cavaliers. He actually spoke with ESPN's Lisa Salters after the game. We have that footage here, courtesy of ESPN and Lisa Salters. So let's hear what Josh Hart had to say about if they knew this was the game plan for the Cleveland Cavaliers going against the Knicks tonight, or we'll just take a look. What did Josh Hart have to say?
Josh, after not playing much down the stretch in game one, just how good did this game feel you tonight? 26 points, playoff career high.
Yeah, man, it felt good. The thing I'm most happy about is I started 0 for 3 or 0 for 4 from 3, and I just kept shooting. I'm putting the work in, and I just got to go out there and play with confidence, so it felt good.
What was your mindset when they just kept leaving you open to shoot?
Yeah, I mean, I knew that's what the game plan was going to be, and I've just been working. In the gym with Joe, Peter Patton, our shooting coach, just getting reps, so I'm just trying to make sure, I shoot the ball with confidence and, just believe in my work.
You heard the ovation from this crowd when you left the court. And after game one, you said you didn't like not playing down the stretch, but you would do whatever it takes for this team. What is it about this team that makes you say that? Because a lot of people can say that, but they don't really mean it. What is it about this team that makes you say that?
I think it's just the character that we have of the guys in the locker room. For me, I said it for years, man. I'm a servant to these guys. I'm big in my faith. I pray for humility all the time, and I really feel like I don't have an ego. That got burned out my heart a long time ago, and I'm out here to serve these dudes.
2-0 series lead heading to Cleveland. How do you pack this up and take it on the road?
We can't be happy with, being up 2-0. This team was just down 2-0. Last series they came back, so we got to go out there. We know they're going to have a sense of urgency, a sense of desperation, and we can't just match it. We have to exceed it. So we got to learn from film tomorrow and get ready for a tough one.
That was Josh Hart, courtesy of ESPN and Lisa Salters, right after the game. And man, do the New York Knicks have tarot cards? Do they have like a psychic in the room? How are they learning so much about how to identify Kenny Atkinson and the Cavaliers? Are they that predictable? Because at this point, it just feels like, Danhausen maybe, the curse, exactly, Omar. These guys at this point have the Cavaliers read before the game's even going in. They knew that was going to be the game plan, was to target Josh Hart, which, okay, I guess if that's your game plan and that didn't work, and your game plan last time was to put your best isolation defender, James Harden, on Jalen Brunson, then what in the heck is going to work against these guys? I mean, mind you, we haven't seen a Cat game yet. Cat's going to have a big game. Whether it results in a win for the New York Knicks or not, he's going to have a big game. So you have that still on the way. I know Kyle and I love him so much. We got into it a little bit about OG Anunoby, and I'm not saying he's a superstar, but he's an NBA champion. It's a two-way guy. He will impact this team. He's been playing the best basketball he's done this year before the injury that sidelined him for a little bit in this postseason. The Knicks still have guys that have not popped off yet, and so far we've seen Jalen Brunson have a big game. So far we've seen Josh Hart now have a big game. We'll have more Brunson games. How do the Cavaliers become unpredictable? Because that's really what comes down to. I'll point to you first, Omar, because at this point, they have read them like a book. Mike Brown, after game one, hey, our plan was to attack James Harden. That's how they erased a 22-point deficit to win that game. And now tonight, Josh Hart goes, that was our game plan. We knew they were going to press me. And he scores 26 points. What do they do to shake it up in game 3, Omar?
Like I said, they're going to have to trust the bigs. They're going to have to put the ball in their hands and find space. And, it's going to be a tough road. It's going to be one battle after another, but they're just going to have to keep pushing. That's the only way they can win this.
Yeah, and they have to win both at home. And that's a big thing. They have to win these next two at home, because if they don't, 3-1, I know we love Harold in 2016 and the 3-1 comeback, but obviously teams don't have a pretty track record. That's why the significance of 2016 is what it is. So you think about that, Omar, the bigs and getting them involved, right? And the fact that, tonight, and Chad, I'll pivot to you here for a moment. Tonight, I can't tell you how many times you would see Max Strus or Sam Merrill or one of those guys on Cat down low in the post. I mean, easy shake and bake right to the hoop. Chad, what do these guys need to do? You hear Omar, and he brings up a great point about the bigs. I mean, is that the main thing here? Or, is there something else that the Cavaliers can do to shake the New York Knicks? Because apparently they have them read like, the back of their hand.
Well, I think one area where Hart was wrong there in the postgame is he said the sense of urgency and the sense of desperation. I don't think you're going to see that. I think you're just going to see the Cavs come out every night, and it's just, it's just basketball, right? It's no big deal. It's a February game. It's after the All-Star break. Remember the dunk contest? That was fun for a couple of days. That was cool.
Yeah.
I'm nursing a hamstring. I'm just going to get through this game, and I might play 29 minutes, 30 minutes or so. And
so lackadaisical.
Every night. And it's like they don't even come out with intensity. Like, yeah, they came out and they hit a few shots tonight in the first quarter, but they didn't, like, you can see it, man. You remember LeBron's face, like when they would need him. Remember, like, just the whole, when they were down 3-1 in that 2016, I almost said World Series, and the NBA Finals, they were down. That would have been fantastic to see LeBron in the World Series too. But
yeah,
I wonder what we could do. Anyway. DH probably. I don't think he's going to be like a shortstop or anything. Probably not a lot of range. Anyway.
Anyway.
I digress, and I should digress. No, I remember the intensity on his face, right? And like you would see Kyrie Irving, and Kyrie looks so focused. And maybe Donovan Mitchell just has a different focused face. But sometimes I look at Donovan Mitchell, and he's just like, yeah, there's a lot of people in here. Right? Like, I know that's not what he's thinking, but I just truly don't know if these guys have the ability to put that chip on their shoulder and to play with it for 48 minutes. It's like they come out, they have these little stretches, man. Jared Allen will get mad and he plays really well for like 5 minutes, right? And then suddenly the ball becomes buttered and he can't hold on to it. And you can't, and that's the thing I was thinking, Omar, it's like we were talking about, like, trusting the bigs and putting the ball in their hands. But sometimes, like, Jared Allen isn't he's not stable really with the ball in his hands a lot. Mobley has his moments where it's like, man, you put him on a smaller defender or whatever, you put a smaller defender on him, he's taking him to the rim, right? You let him get some open space and he's going to knock down a three or not. He's kind of a streaky shooter, right? So it's hard to you don't really know what his game's going to – I don't know what –
Sure, but when he's playing well, you don't just stop.
Right. That's a good point. Yeah, you go back to him, right? Yeah, at least remember that he's on the team. At least let him touch the basketball every once in a while, maybe. But I don't know. This team, this is not LeBron, Kyrie, and Kevin Love, and that whole supporting cast who just seemed to knock down threes at will. When they got open shots, they were going to hit them, right? We talked about Kyle Korver the other night. Kyle Korver would. I mean, he'd come out and he looked old and injured at times, and all of a sudden you'd look and like Kyle Korver's 5 of 6 from the 3-point line, man. Like, yeah, he's got 17 points, and it was so quiet. He would just score in these little like runs, these little stretches. They don't have a guy that consistently does that. I mean, we talked about the numbers from Wade and Strus and Merrill tonight. I mean, I'm not saying these guys are terrible players, but they had terrible games tonight. They didn't play well at all. They didn't shoot well at all. Maybe you remedy some of that when you come home. We talked about, sight lines, whatever. But, I mean, to play – and I almost said to play so well. To be up so big in game one despite not playing well and to lose that game was such a gut punch. I'm almost not surprised they came out with little to no intensity tonight. I mean, but I wish they had that gear. I wish they had that – just that, like, I mean, does nobody have that beast inside? Does nobody a dog? Like, somebody please step up and put this team on your back and carry them for more than a 2 or 3 minute stretch. I mean, my goodness, man, it's frustrating because the talent's there. It just seems like that. I'm not gonna say they're soft or they don't have the passion, they don't have the desire. They just don't have something. I just can't quite put my finger on it, man. They just don't. I don't know.
Yeah, and we have some more comments chiming in here, fellas. Kid Cowboy is making his way into the chat. We appreciate you, Kid Cowboy. He is back, and he mentions now Cleveland needs to win the next 2, and that is right, our bro. And
yeah,
we sure hope so. As Cleveland fans here, Cleveland's digital leader. We hope we get some more basketball. Nate Schrader chiming in saying LeBron the GOAT. And it'll be a discussion here this offseason. Nate Schrader also saying, tying into that 2016 Cavs, that they would sweep the 2026 Cavs, and that is not the things we like to hear. But obviously, the two different teams. The mental.
They would do it right now, Eli. If you put the 2016 Cavs on the floor now, they would sweep the 2026 Cavs. So
exactly. You think about it, the mental toughness, being down 3-1 in that finals, and the Cavaliers now facing 0-2 deficit now for the second straight series, and they're gonna have to win one in New York. We talked about in Detroit. They're gonna have to win one in New York, and they had a chance in game 1. They don't do it, and now they have a chance in game 5 if they can win the next 2. So we'll keep an eye there. Of course, Kid Cowboy mentioned about a big key here. We were talking about keys, or what they could do differently. Space out, make this New York Knicks team stretch out, respect the shooters, right? And you look at Dean Wade, right, in the starting lineup again, and he just has not done well in the starting lineup. He just hasn't. Let's just be honest. He again, 3 points, 1 of 3 shooting, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. I get it, but 2 turnovers for a guy that doesn't really handle the ball very much.
Yeah.
Not what
the defense wasn't even really there tonight either. It's not. There was no. Yeah, I mean,
it wasn't.
But it just
exactly. And you wonder, if that's disrupting Max Strus. Keep in mind he was starting game 7, had all that momentum, and now he's back on the bench for the first 2 games of the series. You wonder, why are we going back to what didn't really work for most of that Detroit series? I would wonder if Kenny Atkinson is going to make a change with Max Strus in the starting lineup next time around, or what's going to happen. But something's got to change, and we'll talk about that when we come back here. We're going to have a lot more to talk about. We're here with you for the next 34 minutes. How about that? Shaquille O'Neal o'clock. How about that? We're going to go ahead, take a quick pause. We're going to hear from Donovan Mitchell. We heard from Josh Hart with Lisa Salters there from ESPN after the game, and about how he knew that was the game plan. Donovan Mitchell talks about it with reporters. It's also courtesy of ESPN, this clip. But he talks to reporters about Josh Hart, his 26-point game, and the Cavaliers dropping to 0-2. This Donovan Mitchell. But this right here is the Inside Edge Network. That's Omar Claussell. To my right, you're right. Chad Bryan to my left, your left. I'm Eli Moon, right in the middle with you here on the Inside Edge Network. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow at InsideEdge Net on all the socials. That is right, InsideEdge Net, all the socials, and InsideEdgeNetwork.com. Get InsideEdgeNetwork.com. Use that promo code INSIDER for 20% off your order at the shop. Mugs, polos, shirts, hats, everything. We're adding stuff as we speak. I can't wait. InsideEdgeNetwork.com is the place you're going to want to be. And you're going to want to be
logos onto shirts right now. We're doing it.
That's right. We got Chad at work. I appreciate it. So get your hands busy. You at home, go grab some caffeine, whatever you need to do. We're going to hear from Donovan Mitchell about the Josh Hart game, courtesy of ESPN. We're back here on the Inside Edge Network with more postgame after this.
Not comparing the players, but you see a similar situation in the other series, and with Caruso, they're guarding him kind of the same way. So I'm not saying he's him or whatever or vice versa, but, you just got to adjust. And we'll look at the film and figure out ways to adjust. But sometimes you got to tip your cap. He made a one-handed spin move on me. And not to say he's not capable, but like sometimes, that's what happens. I think the biggest thing is we'll make our adjustments, but you give credit where credit's due. They made the right plays and knocked down the shots they were supposed to make.
Whether searching for a baseball autographed by your favorite World Series slugger, a signed football by an iconic Hall of Famer, or the jersey of a world-famous soccer star, you've come to the right place. Here at sportsmemorabilia.com, the web's leading source of authentic sports memorabilia, you'll find more than 500,000 authentic products from nearly every professional sports league, team, and players. Not only will you find your next prize sports possession with ease thanks to superb customer service and tremendous site experience, you'll have the satisfaction and peace of mind that every product listed comes complete with a certificate of authenticity and is fully backed by the sportsmemorabilia.com lifetime authenticity guarantee. Go to sportsmemorabilia.com by using the QR code on your screen right now. Sportsmemorabilia.com, a proud sponsor of the Inside Edge Podcast Network, Cleveland's digital leader. Mosser Moments Photography is a husband and wife wedding photography team based in Cleveland, owned and operated by Inside Edge Network's very own Ryan Mosser and his wife Hallie. For the past 10 years, they've captured more than 100 weddings across Northeast Ohio and beyond, always working together as a true two-person team. Their style centers on authentic, emotional storytelling, documenting the real moments between two people in love and creating images that feel natural, comfortable, and true to the couple. Rooted in Northern Ohio but inspired by their travels, Ryan and Hallie bring a warm, personal approach to every wedding day. Their work blends experience, consistency, and a genuine passion for helping couples relive their best day through timeless photography. Learn more at MosserMomentsPhotography.com by using the QR code on your screen right now. MosserMomentsPhotography.com, a proud sponsor of the Inside Edge Network, Cleveland's digital leader.
Yeah, get it to him in the pocket more, in the pick and roll. But they, it's a little bit like they're sucking in. They're in the paint, and I thought we did a great job hitting the perimeter guys. A bunch of swings, a bunch of wide open threes. You gotta kind of take what the defense gives you. Obviously, they're trying to take away those guys. So I think if we would have made some shots early, it could have loosened them up a little, but we never found, the accuracy tonight.
And welcome back to Cavs Game 2 Postgame, mixed with a little Inside Edge Primetime here on the Inside Edge Network. We had to absolutely bring in some help because Chad and I just can't do this. It would just have turned into Chad and I maybe fighting. He's Italian, I'm Irish. It gets a little dangerous from time to time. But so we tagged in our bro. The Dudley Bros used to have like Bubba Ray and Devon and Spike. I don't know who's Bubba Ray and who's Devon, who's Spike. We'll figure that out next time. But Omar Claussell joining us here. On my right, your right. Chad Bryan, to my left, your left. I'm Eli Moon. And together, we are the Inside Edge Network representation of the Cavs Game 2 postgame. They lose to the New York Knicks tonight, 109-93 in Game 2. They fall out 0-2 in the series. We heard there Kenny Atkinson, and that he just talked about the bigs. He must have heard Omar. He must have heard talk about getting the bigs involved. That was courtesy of RealCavsFans.com, that video off of Twitter from the press conference, literally, minutes ago, here from Kenny Atkinson. So they've been great. As Double A mentioned on Midnight Run, they've been great, RealCavsFans.com, getting the clips. So we appreciate them. Thank you. We appreciate that. So that's courtesy of RealCavsFans.com, courtesy of Kenny Atkinson's mouth, his own lips, Omar. He said he's got to get the bigs involved, the pick and roll. And Chad mentioned the identity of this Cavaliers team, and I talk about the pick and roll, the ball movement, getting the front court involved when you have the advantage, right? I know Mitchell Robinson is a dominant force that somehow has, like, voodoo magic over the Cavaliers, and, you have Cap, but I just can't think of a world where those two guys in that front court are better than Evan Mobley and Jared Allen. What did you make of Kenny's thoughts there, his comments after another disappointing loss?
It's just frustrating. If they're crashing down, why don't you space out and get some ball movement? I don't understand. If you see it and you say that you're reacting and you're changing what you're doing, you're obviously not. What are we doing here, Kenny?
Yeah. And Omar, you think about it, right? You look at some of these 3-point attempts, and I'll pivot to you here for a moment too, Chad. Evan Mobley 2 of 3. We're not going to complain about that. Dean Wayne 1 of 3. Donovan and James Harden both 7 attempts from 3. The big glaring one here, 2 of them are 0 for 7 for Sam Merrill and 0 for 3 for Jalen Tyson. But to Omar's point, Chad, it didn't look like there was a ton of spacing. Kenny can say all he'd like. Kenny also just said after Game 1 that James Harden's the best isolation defender on the team. So I don't know if he's doing ayahuasca with Aaron Rodgers or what he's on. But it's just I don't know what happened to Kenny Atkinson in the last week or so for him to be talking like this. But whatever. I guess if you want to tie yourself to James Harden, do it. I guess you look at these 3-point attempts, Chad. They're not pretty looks. They're not like wide open looks. A lot of times they're scrambling last minute, kicking around, flying around the floor. And it's scattered, unorganized basketball. It is a mess of a team that looks like they are getting controlled on the court. When you see teams control the tempo and absolutely force you to play their style of basketball, that's not a good look. And the Knicks thrive off of being in that half court. They're like, all right, you don't have to turn over a lot of times because we're just going to press you on defense. We're going to make bad shots. Bad shots don't necessarily show up on the box score. It doesn't say the Cavs took 32 bad shots. But I promise you, there were a lot of bad looks, and especially late in the, in that entire fourth quarter, it just looked like they were pressing the Cavaliers. They were scattered. There was no ball movement. The pick and roll disappeared immediately, and it was just a mess of a time. Chad, what did you think of Kenny Atkinson's comments and just overall, Game 2? I mean, we've talked about it here, but I mean, there's just I don't know what there is to take away positively besides the fact that the front court, for what they did, played efficiently. But it just wasn't enough baskets. It's like when James Harden had, 6 of 10 or 7 of 10, whatever. It's like, okay, but you're not shooting the ball enough. You're not shooting the ball enough. I don't care if you're efficient, if it's not enough to win the game. And that's what it comes down to. I talked about it yesterday, and I know I asked you a question, Chad. I'm sorry, but now I'm hot. Because you think about this bench has literally nothing going on. Max Strus isn't going to come save you. That's not his freaking job. Sam Merrill isn't going to come save you. Jalen Tyson's not going to come save you. Dennis Schroeder's not going to come save you. They're doing what they're supposed to do for the most part. Tonight, I'll take it, away from that for a moment. It was not Sam Merrill's shining star moment. This was not Money Merrill tonight. It was bankruptcy Merrill. It was bad. It was real ugly. And then you look at, obviously, Jalen Tyson. He got in there, wasn't pretty as well in the 10 minutes, shoots 3 threes, blanks on all of them, just bricks them. Not great. And I'm a Jalen Tyson guy. And Max Strus, has anyone seen Max Strus? Has anyone seen Max Strus? 5 points, 1 of 7 from the floor, 1 of 4 from 3. It's just not enough. But again, and now I'll pivot to you, Chad. We can't rely on the bench. What changes in game 3? What positive? Is there a positive you could take out of this game?
Out of this game?
Yes.
No. Evan Mobley got off to a good start. That was positive. But it lasted 5 minutes. I mean, I somehow hadn't even looked at that part of the box score. And you said Evan Mobley finished 2 of 3 from the 3-point line. That was in the first 5 minutes of the game.
Yeah.
He took those 3 threes in the first 5 minutes of the game and then never attempted another 3. He hit his first 2. He was hot, right? He came out hot. Didn't take another shot. Whatever. I'm going to have to digress myself out of this because I'm going to start yelling. I just don't understand why they're so they won't do what's working. They'll find a little tunnel, right? They find a little light at the end of the tunnel, and it's like they're scared to walk through the dark tunnel, right? They won't go at that. They'll go, well, let's go back to our comfort, which is just James Harden dribbling the ball for 21 and a half seconds, and then taking it to the middle where there's no spacing, where there's literally 5 defenders right there. And then he'll panic and try to find somebody for an open 3, and they won't knock that 3 down. And then there's a long rebound, and the Knicks are scoring easy points on the other side of the and it's a rinse and repeat over and over and over again. And when they do find something that works, they never go back to it. Evan Mobley having 8 points in the first 5 minutes of this game and finishing with 14 points and no field goals in the second half at all is – choose your adjective. I mean, you won't be wrong. It's unacceptable. It's disgusting. It's the things we kicked around in our group chat. It's all those things. And that's, I just don't believe that that's all on the players. I mean, there has to be some point where Kenny Atkinson goes, man, wasn't there a guy out there that was like scoring? Didn't we have a guy that was, what's his name? Let me look at the roster, because I feel like it's like he doesn't know this team very well. He doesn't have a good and I don't mean to compare Kenny Atkinson to Phil Jackson, but do you remember watching Phil Jackson? Well, I don't know if you guys are even old enough. Omar, I don't know if you are. I'm very old. I remember watching Phil Jackson coach the Bulls and coach the Lakers and the sideline triangle. And it was like Phil Jackson always found that mix of guys that they weren't necessarily all superstars, but they all knew their role very, very, very well, right? They knew exactly what they were there to do. And they did it. And I think part of that is, I mean, again, you talk about, look at some of the guys that were on those teams. Michael Jordan, famously maybe a little tough to work with as a teammate, but he was going to get the best out of you, right? Period. Kobe Bryant, same. Maybe at times tough to work with, but was going to get the best out of you. And I feel like at the end of the season, you feel like, okay, I accomplished something because of Michael, because of Kobe, right? They pushed me to be a better me than I thought I could be. That rhymed really nicely.
Sure did.
It sure did. I didn't plan that. But it's just the Cavs right now, they don't have that player. They've got guys that they're going to be Hall of Famers, right? James Harden, Donovan Mitchell might be a Hall of Famer. He's a pretty good player, really good player. Evan Mobley has all the talent in the world to become a Hall of Fame type of player. I don't think he's ever going to take that step because that, for whatever reason, they just don't have that personality on this team. They don't have the one guy. It's not Kenny Atkinson. He's not going to do it as a coach. And Donovan Mitchell doesn't really – he's not much of a vocal leader. I mean, you see him talk sometimes, but it's more like he and James Harden will – like they'll confer before a timeout and they whisper something in each other's ears and that's it, right? And there's no – I just don't see anybody being that floor general, being the guy that just will not accept losing, right, or will not accept poor effort or they will not accept not – understanding what your role is and playing it to a T. And And I think that's the difference between really, really good teams and great teams. The Cavs are a really, really good team. They are. I mean, you look at the roster; they're talented, top to bottom. They've got guys. I mean, again, they're the most expensive roster in the league for a reason, right? They've got a lot of talent on this team, but they just don't have that next gear, that capability to, take over a game. Nobody really has that on the floor. Now, anyway, I mean, maybe Donovan Mitchell can become that. But I mean, at this point, he's been in the league long enough that I think this is what Donovan Mitchell is. We always talk about Evan Mobley taking the step. This is what Evan Mobley is. Evan Mobley is a 17-8 kind of a guy. I mean, he's never going to be, a 32-18 guy. He's not going to be that guy. Every once in a while, you might see him or Jared Allen blow up and have a huge game. But you can't. Do you remember? I mean, man, 2016, the finals, we had LeBron and Kyrie going for 40 apiece, and just watching them like play off of each other was beautiful, man.
Right, and you think about this, Chad. And Omar, I'm curious if you have some thoughts before we had the break for a final break before we come back here. But you think about this. You talk about Evan Mobley. This is what he is, and I'll give you that. But he could have had a game for the ages tonight. He was 2 for 3 from 3. Finished the night with 14 points for the Cavaliers.
Yeah.
But he was 5 of 8 from the floor. You double that to say he does what he was doing. That's 10 of 16 from the floor. That's 5 more buckets, maybe 3 more threes. That's an extra 12 to 15 points. And now we're talking about we just get a little more production out of whoever. Jared Allen gets a few more baskets, or the bench just hits their shots. Now we're talking about a bit different ball game, but that's not the case. And the Cavaliers obviously down 0-2 now, heading back to Cleveland and Rocket Arena. So,
but wait, then Eli, then it's on Donovan Mitchell to go get in Evan Mobley's ear and go, listen, man, you started off hot. Where the hell are you? I don't care. We're gonna run listen, Kenny Atkinson, get over here. We're running the offense through Evan Mobley until the wheels fall off.
But they're gonna protect Evan Mobley, Chad. They have shown time and time again, this team, they will not throw Evan Mobley under the bus. They're gonna protect Evan Mobley like he is a baby giraffe. They're gonna look out for him and make sure that he doesn't get his feelings hurt and nothing happens to Evan Mobley, because Evan Mobley cannot get his feelings hurt. He's just got to do Evan Mobley things.
Would Kobe have done that with him? Would Michael Jordan?
No, but we don't have killers on this team.
No, we don't.
And I'm not frustrated with you, but we don't have killers on
this
this team.
If you replace Harden with LeBron, are we talking about the same thing right now?
I mean, and that's the discussion, right? I mean, that's the reason why the murmurs are heating up more and more as we get into the offseason of, is LeBron going to take a vet minimum or just come sign in Cleveland? Does he see this roster as something, competition-wise, is this the best fit for him?
That's exactly what this team is missing.
Him and I'll say this, I don't think it's just one guy, though, Omar, to that point. I agree that he would definitely add to it, but I think this team has a few problems. I think maybe adding him, Giannis, looking into all those options is definitely a great start. But at the end of the day, if these guys don't have that dog in them, you're bringing LeBron out to be a dog, around a bunch of cats. For lack of
more
better
blue collar mentalities across the roster. They don't have to be superstars, but we need a bunch of guys with the just the mindset of I'm gonna go in and get my hands dirty. I'm gonna do what it takes to win a freaking basketball game. I'm gonna box out. I'm gonna play some defense. I'm gonna get in somebody's head. I mean, the Cavs don't even have a guy that like I would take Draymond Green on this team in a second. I've said it before. They don't even have a lightning rod type of guy to go out and stir up a little trouble and get maybe the other team out of their game. They just let the Knicks do whatever they wanted to do tonight.
Exactly.
With no physical or psychological resistance at all. Nothing.
Exactly. And Omar, you bring up a great point about LeBron, but if you're LeBron James, as we go to break here, you think about this. You have a chance to play in Cleveland against, or with Donovan and James Harden and these guys, a bunch of guys that unfortunately don't have that winning mentality, it appears. And we'll see, as we get back to Cleveland. And this could be a long series, and we could be eating our words for the third straight series in a row. We'll see.
I would love to eat my words. I love to eat. I love to eat.
I know you do. I love it. But you look at LeBron, you look at Cleveland, you also look at Golden State, and I know there's a lot of things going on there. But if this is his last run, his last year, maybe go play with a guy that has that winning mindset. Yeah, I know Steph hasn't got to a title like in his hands in a minute, but he knows how to win. You look at some of these other teams. You got to wonder, LeBron might not even want to come back here, with all the mess right here. He might just look at it and go, you know what? You guys don't have any dogs over here. You guys are in a spot where, yes, I could possibly lift you, but then I got to also worry about talking to a bunch of grown adults about how big of an opportunity this is. It's like if you got one of you guys, and you know how to go support you, if you were on Broadway, you guys, Omar or Chad, you were out on Broadway, and you were the main lead in Broadway, and you're out there and you're doing your thing, and you go, I just don't feel any pressure. I'm just gonna go out there and do my thing. And you go out there and you're loosey-goosey, and you never get an opportunity till 3-4 years later, and you're like, this is just an opportunity. I'm having fun again. And I have to be like, no, You know what happened 3-4 years ago. You were on Broadway. You were in New York, and you got embarrassed. Yeah. This is the moment. This is the team that literally started all this discussion, and you're letting them do it to you again. Except for this time, it's not the book right here at the beginning. Books closed. You lose to New York, books closed. This is it as this roster. I said it before the series, and I'll say it again. There is no multi-year extension for James Harden if this series keeps going the way it's going. Kenny Atkinson, your seat is getting warmer by the second. I just can't believe it. And Donovan Mitchell, the questions are going to start again. And, of course, that leads to discussion for everybody else as well. So we'll keep an eye on all of this. We're going to come back right from break here on the Inside Edge Network. We're going to give our thoughts, keys to Game 3. Can the Cavaliers please just use some keys and open some doors? We'll see about that. And then the Keurig, hold on. Keurig sounds to be brewing. Double A Anthony Alford will be with you at midnight here on the Inside Edge Network. Same stream, so you don't have to go anywhere. Just stay locked in here. He'll be with you for some unhinged behavior, Cavaliers reaction, of course, and some other things to talk about as well. Double A is going to be with you till 1 a.m. And we have some very exciting stuff we'll announce during the midnight hour. So stay tuned for that. You're going to want to stay tuned for that. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow Inside Edge Net on all of the socials. Of course, across all the socials, I mean Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitch, Twitter, all of the great stuff. Again, Inside Edge Net. There it is. Boom. And the InsideEdgeNetwork.com is where you're going to want to be. InsideEdgeNetwork.com. Use that promo code INSIDER at the shop and get 20% off your order. Read about your favorite personalities such as Omar, Chad, and I, and everybody else here on the Inside Edge Network that does a great job all the way up to the top. Double A Anthony Alford, the program director. And, of course, we appreciate the owner of the Inside Edge Network, Peter Tellep, for everything they do. We appreciate you so, so much. We appreciate our partners as well. You can read all about them on the InsideEdgeNetwork.com, InsideEdgeNetwork.com. I think we got it all covered there. QR code's right above Omar's head. Go ahead and check it out. Takes you right to the website. It's amazing stuff. I can't say enough about it. It's amazing. So with that being said, Omar Claussell, to my right, your right. He'll be with you June 1st for his new morning show here in the Inside Edge Network, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. But he'll be back with us, Chad Bryan to my left, your left, and me, Eli Moon, here in the middle of these two fantastic human beings. We'll be back for a final segment talking keys to a Game 3 victory for the Cavaliers. Can they do it? Can they do it? Can they do it? We'll find out. Talk about it all when we get back here on the Inside Edge Network. Stay with us.
How about the Guardians? They are in first place in the American League. And by the way, the American League, not a ton of winning teams. So congrats to the Guardians. Keep an eye on them. Hopefully they can get the sweep against the Detroit Tigers. Coming up tonight, we got post-game reaction for Game 2 of Cavs and Knicks. But if you missed last night, Eli and Omar, they could tell you it got unhinged for another edition, Eli, of Midnight Conversations.
Yeah, and you know what? From milking the cow to the boom boom room, I just don't know where to start. We are possibly failing the next generation of the youth with Common Core math. Omar, I don't know, man. I don't even smoke cigarettes anymore, but I think I need a cigarette.
You might.
Well,
if you don't need a cigarette, I mean, cup of Joe in the morning with O.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
You know what would be great?
What's that?
Sound like the guy that we talked about, the landlord, maybe making a sandwich. Midnight Run here on the Inside Edge Network.
Discover our collection of body mists made with clean, minimal ingredients. Handcrafted with natural essential oils and clean ingredients, they offer a natural alternative to synthetic fragrances. Perfect for sensitive skin and those seeking clean, mindful self-care, and the perfect gift for you or your special someone. Courtesy of Alley Rose Fragrances. First-time customers, use that promo code InsideEdge20 to receive 20% off your order. AlleyRoseFragrances.com, a proud sponsor of the Inside Edge Network, Cleveland's digital leader.
And welcome back to Inside Edge Primetime, mixed with a little Cavaliers Game 2 here on the Inside Edge Network. Cavaliers fall to the New York Knicks by a final score of 109-93. They are now 0-2 in the series. They head back to Cleveland, trying to find some hope. We are your favorite trios tag team champs. Tag team, trios champ, whatever you want to call it. Omar Claussell, to my right, your right, Chad Bryan. Over to my left. Your left, I'm Eli Moon. I'm in the middle. You're in the middle, too. If you're an Eli Moon fan, I appreciate you so much. We appreciate you being a fan of the Inside Edge Network, Cleveland's digital leader, your source of sports, entertainment, mental health conversations, news, and everything in between. Of course, don't forget to like, subscribe, follow, all that great stuff at Inside Edge Net on all the socials. Inside Edge Net is where you're going to want to go. And, of course, InsideEdgeNetwork.com. InsideEdgeNetwork.com. Use the promo code INSIDER for 20% off your order at the shop. Polos. Is that when you're a professional and you wear a polo?
Yeah,
Polos?
that's when you're not messing around and you got the collar popped and maybe you have
we need the Cavs to wear some Prolos then. We need the Cavs to wear some Prolos, all right? But you get your polo, get your mug, get your hat, get your shirt, get your Inside Edge Network gear. Rep the network that represents you as Cleveland's digital leader and something different here. Your source of everything you need. Of course, that's at InsideEdgeNetwork.com. One more time. I'm going to show that promo code. It's INSIDER. 20% off your order. InsideEdgeNetwork.com. Got a few minutes left. Keurig is brewing, fellas, so we don't have much time. So let's get into it. I'm going to kick it off with you, Omar. Game 3 in Cleveland. Rocket Mortgage Arena, Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse, Quicken Loans Arena, Gund Arena, whatever it is. How do the Cavs get it done in Cleveland Game 3? I know you kind of already hinted at it, pal, but what is it going to take for a Game 3 victory for the Cavaliers?
Yeah, utilize the bigs, work on the spacing. You're at home. You lean on your role players a little bit. They might be able to get it done.
I love the semi-optimism, bro, and we'll take it from you. I know it was a rough night for us all, and we'll take that little bit of optimism. Chad B here. What do we got going on for Game 3?
Well, they're going to be at Richfield Coliseum, and I tell you what, no, they're not going to be there. But I had to get that one in. No, listen, you've got to buy. Okay, so Kenny Atkinson is going to have to be able to identify what is working early, and you have to stay with it, right? Hammer it until the Knicks stop you from doing it. don't go away from it because, well, what if they catch on, right? Just if Evan Mobley's hot early, let Evan Mobley shoot the basketball. Just let him have the ball. If Donovan Mitchell's hot, let him have the ball. If James Harden is hot, still put him on the bench. No, I'm kidding. Just whoever, find the hot hand. Somebody's going to have a hot. Well, nobody had the hot hand tonight. Evan Mobley had it early, and they stopped going to him. They stopped giving him the ball. And maybe that's why the offense stopped working, because they stopped going through the guy that was actually scoring, right? Like he was attracting attention. He was giving the Knicks a reason to defend him, and they stopped giving him the basketball. So you're going to have to identify what works. They're going to have to figure out between now and then exactly what their identity is, and just be who they are. You got to be who you are in this world, right?
Yes.
And that's what the Cavs are going to have to do. They're going to have to be who they are. They can't go, well, then the Knicks are, man, they're forcing us to play their game, so we'll just try to get really good at this Knicks thing. You know, whatever they want to do. You can't do that. Again, I'm going to hammer it home until I am blue in the face. They've got the most expensive roster in basketball. There's absolutely no reason that they can't come out and win games 3 and 4 at home. I don't know that they will, but they're going to have to find some blue collar mentality between now and then, and they're going to have to get their hands dirty, and they're going to have to go to work, man. I mean,
yes, absolutely, pals. I agree with both of my bros here. Great points from both of them. My final point to add on to that is start Max Strus. It worked in Game 7. Every time Max Strus has been in the starting lineup, they've created that spacing. A guy that can actually create the space, make moves with the ball in his hands, can find a way to get open off the ball. I think Max Strus and putting Dean Wade as a guy who can come be a pest in that second unit, have Dennis Schroeder lead it, have Money Merrill be the guy, again, that can have the three-point opportunities and not just be rushing into him on the bench. So that's my key as well to a Game 3 victory for the Cavaliers in Cleveland over the New York Knicks, trying to get the series at 2-1 in favor of New York. Keep an eye on all of that. But that's going to do it here for us. Oh, my goodness, that Keurig is brewing. Double-A leaves tomorrow. He'll talk a little bit more about it. And I'm just worried. Who's going to babysit the Keurig when he's gone? I don't know. And we're worried about that, right? So we're about a few things. He might appear, guys, sometimes around the time. He might pop up. He didn't, which is a little scary because it is 12:01. But that's going to do it for us. Omar Claussell to my right, your right. Chad Bryan to my left, your left. I'm Eli Moon. This has been Cavaliers Game 2 postgame, mixed with a little Inside Edge Primetime. Cavs fall 109-93 to the New York Knicks. They're down 2-0, heading back to Cleveland. Chad and I back with you for a Friday edition of Inside Edge Primetime tomorrow. So excited. Got a lot to share with you. Can't wait. Omar Claussell with you June 1st for the morning show, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. June 1st here on the Inside Edge Network. Very exciting. He'll probably be back next week, I'd imagine. We're going to talk some more midnight conversations with Double-A. If you've never seen Unhinged Behavior, that is it. But that's going to do it for all of us. Make sure you follow Inside Edge Net on all the socials. Check out the website, InsideEdgeNetwork.com, all the great stuff. You're going to hear station identification, and then, oh my goodness, we're all going to disappear, and Double-A Anthony Alford will be with you for some more Cavaliers reaction. I think it's going to be a little rough, and I'll be with them running the 1s and 2s. So thanks again to Omar. Thanks again to Chad. I'm Eli Moon. This has been Inside Edge Primetime, Cavs Game 2 postgame here on the Inside Edge Network. And after station identification, let's get unhinged. Double-A Anthony Alford next.
This is Midnight Run on the Inside Edge Network. Here's your host, Anthony Alford.
Mic check, mic check. Mic check. Are we on? Are we good? We are good. Okay, welcome on in. The internet on my end is slowing up. So thank you, Eli, for confirming that we are good to go. Also, Eli, you have a message from StreamYard that you have to reactivate your account. So, mate, you have 6 days to do it. Welcome to Midnight Run. The first minute of this show will be positive, and then it's going to be Thunderdome for the other 59 minutes. Happy birthday to my mom. That's happy birthday to my mom. She's the reason why I'm here, and everything like that. That she is the rock of our family. So happy birthday to her. She's going to have a great weekend to celebrate all of those things. So that won't be an issue. Also, Grandma, stay strong. And shout out to the Guardians. Sweep of the Detroit Tigers. Shout out to those Guardians. So, yeah, there you go. Positivity. All right. Now we move on to whatever the heck just happened out there on the floor. Ladies and gentlemen, you have a B-plus team that can't make shots. They flat out cannot make shots, and that's been my concern throughout the entire playoffs. In fact, if it wasn't for the fact that the Cavaliers choked away game one, I think people around the NBA will look at Kenny Atkinson and say he's actually overachieving, because who exactly can you turn to make shots? Now, you had an answer in the first quarter. You had a winning formula. In the first quarter, Evan Mobley had 10 points. Jared Allen has 6 points. Those two guys, the front court, when your offense is running through inside out with the front court, you can do some good things. And let's be honest, it's that time of the year where Donovan Mitchell is limping. James Harden, I think his confidence is shook. And your bench was sorry, like piss poor sorry. 6 of 20. Dean Wade, Sam Merrill, Dennis Schroeder, Max Strus, Jalen Tyson. 6 of 27. Who could you turn to in the first place? Not a freaking soul. You couldn't turn to anybody. 6 of 27. I'm watching Dennis Schroeder, and I'll listen to how he's out there handling business defensively. I'll listen to it, but offensively, the dude stinks. He is not making shots. I mean, he's doing everything he can do except make shots. And across the board, you got a Cavs team, and I've said this all playoff long. Every other team that is here at this late stage of the game, you know who you could turn to if the rest of your team is struggling. You're going to have, again, 6 of 27 from your bench. That effing sucks. But in the grand scheme of things, it is the playoffs, and you're on the road. So on the road, you're expecting your superstar players to come through. That's what you're expecting, your superstar players to come through. So when I hear that Evan Mobley did not attempt a basket in the second half, when I hear, what did I send to our team here? Evan Mobley, realcavsfans.com, had this. Mobley's last field goal attempt was at the minute 44 mark of the second quarter. This is the same Evan Mobley who was the leading scorer for the Cavaliers after the first quarter. Evan Mobley had 10 points at the end of quarter number 1. He finished the game with 14 points. That's Evan Mobley. We're at a point now in the season where I'm watching this team and I'm really questioning, how in the world did they make it this far? I'm serious. How did this Cavs team make it this far? Because even if the Cavs would have held on and won in game 1, I still would say that this could very well be a gentleman's sweep. Now this is going to be a real sweep. Now this is going to be, when I come back on the air Monday night, we're putting a bow on this Cavs season on Monday night. I'm actually, when I watch this team, I'm actually amazed at how in the world they made it this far and why the Celtics are not in this round. Detroit, understandable, young team, and we got hot in game 5 and game 7, but we have cold streaks in every game. Every game. I mean, today, third quarter, we scored the first 2 buckets in the third quarter. tied it at 53 all. New York scored the next 18 points. By the way, Kenny Atkinson did a little bit better today with timeouts. He called a timeout after the Knicks scored 9 consecutive points. That's a freaking improvement. Way to go, effing Kenny. Way to go. That's improvement. He's learning. You're still a dumbass, but at least he's learning. We'll see if Jason Kidd's right around the corner. Dan Gilbert, we're going to have it's going to be a tough conversation. Midnight conversations are fun. The real conversation we're going to have perhaps on Monday night about what Dan Gilbert's going to have to do is going to be a tough one, because he's going to have to make a choice in terms of how he wants his team to look. Because I think Chad brought it up on the post show, and I agree with him 100%. It's an expensive roster. You have a good team. You got a team that could win regular season games, compete in the playoffs. This is not a championship team. This is I looked it up. Only 4 teams since 1999 have made it to the NBA Finals in terms of teams in which I deem being full of B-plus players. Now, one of those teams was actually the 2018 Cleveland Cavaliers. It was LeBron James surrounded by B-plus players, including Kevin Love, by the way. And Dan Gilbert rewarded a declining Kevin Love by signing him to a max extension just to hang on to a thread. And I don't want Dan Gilbert to make the same mistake here, but maybe more on that coming up on Monday if you do a deep dive into the future of this team. Listen, the guy's going to say, we're going to play some cuts here shortly. Oh, all we got to do is make shots. All we got to do is make shots. That's fine. Also, you have to defend Josh Hart. Also, why in the blue hell did Josh Hart have 26 points? Why did Josh Hart have a career night? But, well, we could make shots. It's actually what Kenny was talking about after that Orlando game on a Tuesday night in the regular season, where we think we could this team believes in these players. He called out their IQ, and I am too, because they failed to make adjustments. I don't think we have smart basketball players. I'm just going to put that out there, because these guys, veterans, failed to make adjustments. I don't think we have a smart basketball team. That's what I'm learning about these guys. I don't think we have guys with high IQ who can figure out the issues, because the issues go far beyond just, oh, we can't make shots. They kind of go far beyond that. But because they're B-plus players and lower, they don't have enough talent to overcome the shortcomings of where they have fallen short in terms of bad habits throughout the season. And now the Knicks are about to sweep them. That's why they lost in game 1 when they were up by 22 points with 7.5 minutes to go in the game. That's why. Let's start with this. Let's go to, there's a lot of stuff here. Let's start with Charles Barkley. Charles Barkley at halftime of tonight's game on ESPN TNT talked about how the coaching, the team could help themselves by utilizing the front court and going inside it out. Take a look.
It can make their life easier if they play inside it out. Because you see Mobley and Allen have a huge advantage. That will free up Donovan and James instead of them trying to go one-on-one, get their own shot. But they got no answers for Mobley and Allen. They're just too big for these guys. They killing them on the perimeter. They killing them on the boards. But the Cavs aren't playing smart. They can't guard this dude. And they can't guard Allen either, because OG is just too light in the cake, see too little.
Not too light in the cake.
Yeah, no, he's not big enough. I don't care how much you weigh. If you light in the cake, you light in the cake. But
okay, that was pretty funny. But you get the point, though, courtesy of ESPN, TNT, CNN, HLN Sports. You get the point. You saw how Evan Mobley was getting to the basket in the first quarter. Jared Allen commanding rebounds. Jared Allen, a beast defensively in terms of getting blocks. And then all of a sudden, all that stopped. Now, all of a sudden, we're relying on Donovan Mitchell, Sam Merrill, Dennis Schroeder, Max Strus, Jalen Tyson, Dean Wade to hit three-pointers, which kills drive, or that's a football term. It kills possessions because we're already struggling with transition defense. We have all playoffs. So when you miss long three-pointers, boom, ball goes the other way, fast break points, boom, New York's on the board on the other end. And we're lazy, so we're not even going to get back on defense because we're lazy. We're stupid. That, again, watching these guys, honestly, it amazes me that they made it this far. Donovan Mitchell. Let's play a cut from him. Mitchell 01. Any concerns with the Cavs offense?
Nothing. We just didn't make shots. I loved everything about the looks we got. And some days you just miss the open ones. We got great looks. Sometimes we're in and out. Sometimes they're short. Offensively, I'm not worried at all. We did a really good job getting to the paint, trying to find guys, and that's why our assist total was low. It's just because we couldn't make shots, and it was everybody. So nothing to hang our head about. They protected home court, and they've seen this before us. We got to go get game 3.
Yeah, that's all. Just got to make shots. Did you account for the fact that as a team, let's see, 9 of 35 from 3. So instead of adjusting and going inside, well, let's put up more three-pointers and shoot 25% from downtown. Oh, okay. All right, let's get to the line. 22 of 32 from the line, including, 9 missed free throws late in the game where New York gave you a window to come back. And you blew that. Because, again, we're not playing fundamental basketball. We're not doing the little things. That's the Cleveland Cavaliers in a nutshell. And that's I'm 34 years old, so I'm going to say something that I hear all the time from people who hate millennials. This team kind of acts like millennials. When we want to pretend like pressure doesn't exist. And then when there is pressure, we just fold and we look at one thing and say, oh, maybe if we fix the easiest thing, it'll all be okay. Nah, no dogs, no heart, no brains. You're eliminated. We'll be back.
Yeah, get it to him in the pocket more, in the pick and roll. But they, it's a little bit like they're sucking in. They're in the paint, and I thought we did a great job hitting the perimeter guys. Bunch of swings, bunch of wide open threes. You gotta kind of take what the defense gives you. Obviously, they're trying to take away those guys. So I think if we would have made some shots early, it could have loosened them up a little. But we never found the accuracy tonight.
This is Midnight Run on the Inside Edge Network. Here's your host, Anthony Alford.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. This is Midnight Run here on the Inside Edge Network at Inside Edge Net. We do have some new followers here tonight. Thank you again for tuning on in to the Inside Edge Network. Remember to like and subscribe and follow the Inside Edge Network at Inside Edge Net across all of the social media platforms. We have live programming 7 days a week. A lot of great stuff coming up. Actually, later on today or later on tonight, if you're a wrestling fan, 1 a.m., we will have the new episode of the Side Hustle Wrestling Podcast. Also, remember, InsideEdgeNetwork.com. You can see the schedule at InsideEdgeNetwork.com, InsideEdgeNetwork.com. We do have a merch store as well. If, got to get in your summer gear, Inside Edge Network shirts. We got polos, a lot of great stuff there as well. Also, one of our talents, Eli Moon, he might get his hair cut if we get enough sales. So that might be happening too. Use the promo code Insider. That's there as well. But again, for those of you that have been with us, thank you for joining us. Those of you who are watching us for the first time, also thank you for joining us. Like and subscribe. That will mean a lot for us. We are locally owned, grassroots. Cleveland's digital leader, sports, entertainment, news, mental health, all of that covered here on the Inside Edge Network. We wish we could give you a winning post-game show. It just didn't happen. You heard Kenny Atkinson coming back in from break, and I think right now it's just a lot of surface-level coaching. And this is a surface-level mentality, and this is unacceptable for a team that is the most expensive. It's the most expensive roster in the NBA. And I do feel bad for Dan Gilbert because Dan Gilbert, right after the game, tonight, let me pull it up here on the side real quick because he's all in at Cavs Dan. He's all in on this team and everything in terms of what they're doing. He tweeted like 2 minutes after the final buzzer. He said, "Okay, Cavs fans, feel familiar? Clearly, it's not ideal, but we have this. We have done this twice already. We go home, win 2, then it's a 3-game series, and we win it in 6 or 7. Keep believing. Let them know." I have nothing but unbelievable respect for Dan Gilbert because he is a fan at heart. He really, really is. And the level of positivity that he has with this team. You got to love it. Now, what I'm going to need Dan Gilbert to do is to call Kenny Atkinson again and tell him to utilize Jared Allen offensively and Evan Mobley offensively. I'm gonna need him to do that again, since Kenny doesn't see. Oh my! By the way, did you hear Kenny leading into after game one talking about, I don't actually blame James Harden. It was actually the backside defense I was pissed about with that game one performance. I don't know, folks. I don't know. Again, like I said before, I'm amazed that they've made it this far. I really am. And New York is giving you openings. And here's the thing. If New York does sweep the Cavs or win it in 5 and they actually rest, they actually could win the NBA Finals, even if they're not the better team between themselves and the Western Conference Finals winner, because San Antonio, OKC, they're going to 7. They're going at least 6. They're going 6 or 7. So that's going to be deep. And you think about the Knicks, first round, they win that at 6. Second round, sweep. This round, we'll see what happens. And then they're going to be completely fresh for the NBA Finals. Meanwhile, SGA is flopping his way through ball games. Don't think the NBA has a tanking problem and they have a flopping problem that they need to address this offseason. You got James Harden flopping. You got SGA. They counted SGA flopped on 25% of his shots in game 2 last night. Meanwhile, back to this series. I'm trying to be positive here. I can't. Cavs are down 0-2 in this series. They're back on the floor here at home on Saturday night. Actually, here's a fun thing. Eli, come on the screen for me, buddy, if you can. I love watching Eli transition from producer to having to go on air. He has to brush his hair. Hey. I see it every time. It's like,
hey, you'll never, the secret's not told of what goes on behind the scenes to get some of this stuff ready to go for what we need. Double A. I'm having a bad hair day. I'm out here yanking my hair out and just gracious for the team we have around us to get everything going. But yeah,
we do. We have a great team. It's so funny to pull back the curtain for our audience with StreamYard at the, you see what you're seeing right now on the screen. For us talent, you can see on the bottom of the screen the other people that's in the stream and other stuff. So when Eli's off screen and I call for him to come on the screen, it's the same thing every time.
Well, hey, we get 10 purchases on the Inside Edge Network before the end of the month. I won't be able to have to worry about that anymore.
Dude, you're gonna do that out of habit. Okay.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. When's the last time you cut your hair?
It was like August of 2024.
August of 2024.
Yeah.
Okay, it's been a minute.
Yeah.
But you might still out of habit do that. Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
Eli, I forgot why I brought you on. Oh,
I'll go.
I remember. Okay, so we were on the air after game 2 of the Detroit series.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to go down the path that Dan Gilbert is going down.
Mm-hmm.
And I asked you, how much money would you put down on the Cavaliers to win the title after game 2 of that series?
Yeah.
Now we're gonna do this again. Because I have to imagine, and I saw some of the comments during the post-game show with you, Omar, and Chad. I have to imagine there's some Clevelanders who might be tapping out of game 3.
Yeah. I don't know how much money I'd put down at this point. I was talking to some of the bros, actually, and just was having a conversation after game 1. I said, dude, did you see that the New York Knicks were plus 3,500 when they were down by 22 points in game 1? And, I talked to some of the bros and they were like, just to salvage the hurt a little bit. I thought about putting something in on the Knicks, just like a $5 just to, win a couple hundred. And, I'm not gonna lie, Double A, don't necessarily have the betting money myself right now. So I did not put anything on the Knicks, but I would have looked at that too. And like, that's more so what I'm looking for is like game by game. Like, so there's some people around me in my life that used to teach me, if you're going to bet against your team, at least you have a win-win opportunity. If the team wins, Cleveland, your heart has done it. And if they lose, your pocketbook is much fatter. And it's like, so you're in a position either way. So I guess for me, it's like I'm looking to see if the Knicks go down again and they give me plus 800 odds or something, I would just take that. Double A, I don't think anybody should bet their hard-earned money on this Cavaliers team because they aren't even giving their hard effort, their tough effort with the hard-earned money that they've earned, because rightfully so. A lot of these guys have earned the contracts they're at. Unfortunately, they're just not earning another contract. James Harden will not get a multi-year extension here. I get it. Brian Windhorst is talking about on ESPN, and I know Windhorst is well more connected on the inside than me, but you look at, this multi-year extension talk. I'm telling you, Double A, it's been a very long time. I've got hot a few times here on the network. There might be a day where you might have to just schedule me off. If they sign James Harden to a multi-year extension, I might break StreamYard or wherever we're at. It might break because I'm going to scream at the top of my lungs. Because how can you look at this team down 0-2 and say, this is what we're going to run back? This is what we're going to... It's like you're doing the same thing. It's like if you're in NBA 2K and you're in my player mode and you're getting your ass whooped on defense and you are just terrible on defense, you're an offensive scoring guard, you're not going to keep trying to lock down the best player on the team. You're going to go get your stats up and work. So we can't necessarily get...
2K is a bad example for me. I'll just turn the game off.
Well, right now, that might not be a bad option for how these Cavs are playing, Double A. But I'll tell you, 2K is, I think, my best example because you're going to shape the team up. You're going to round out your stats. And you're not going to ever get anything else out of James Harden, who apparently is the best isolation defender in basketball, according to Kenny Atkinson. So, you look at that, and I'm paraphrasing. Let's be clear. I'm just
right.
irritated. But you look at this. How can you run this back, right, at this point?
Well, what they're going to have to determine, Eli, and our great audience, they're going to have to determine, okay, if you're going to go after LeBron, you're going to go after Giannis, you're going to have to figure out which one of these core four, one or two of these core four members is able to play the side piece to Giannis. And LeBron's a little bit of a different case here because LeBron was actually the third option in Los Angeles.
Yes.
So that might be a different conversation. But you are going to have to determine which one of these core four players, one or two players, you actually keep.
Yeah.
Because I think all of them in some way, shape, or form are expendable.
I would completely reshape this entire team. I would look for all options out there. I'm so fed up with this. I would look at LeBron. I would look at Giannis. I would look at Jaylen Brown in Boston. I know I've been very heavy on I think he's out of Boston. But I think, you look at Jaylen Brown. You look at any of these guys. Brandon Ingram's been looped in conversations. You reshape it. Double A, I want to see the furthest thing from this roster. The furthest thing from this roster. It's like we keep using the relationship comparison, but this is like you have continued to go at it with this team. And you know what?
You have. Yeah, and I thought about this while you guys were on the air during the post game. I'm like, wait a minute. You almost, if Jason Kidd, right? That's the and according to Dave McMenamin of ESPN, apparently the Cavs locker room was active in the locker room prior to game one after hearing that noise, and they didn't show that much activity after, whatever that means. But you can't bring in a third head coach and say, okay, now the third head coach can get this Donovan Mitchell-led group over the hump.
Right.
You only get one shot to fix a coaching situation. You don't get two shots.
Exactly. You look at like Mark Jackson to Steve Kerr. Imagine if Steve Kerr didn't work out. The Warriors aren't going to go, okay, we're going to, go get another coach in. They're going to go, okay, we're going to make some maneuvers. We're going to look at the move one of the Splash brothers. And that didn't happen because it worked out. But you look at this, Double A, how can you run back Kenny Atkinson as a head coach? I agree with you because I get we just beat JB Bickerstaff, but JB Bickerstaff has done the same thing with Detroit. So it's not a matter of, okay, it's the Cavaliers roster or it's the coaching. It's all of it. It's all of it. It has run its course. It has run its course. And I hope I eat my words by Monday night. Maybe we're talking about, hey, this is a 2-2 series and it's a best of 3 at this point. But you know what? If I was a betting man, I sure would not bet on that. I would bet on us doing a post-mortem here on InsideEdge Primetime, the InsideEdge Network. I'm getting ready to have conversations about who is coming in here as trade targets because this is just embarrassing. I don't know, Double A, we wake up every day for the Inside Edge Network and for everything else we're taking care of, and we wake up, we put our all into it. To the point where me and you are having conversations at 3, 4 in the morning sometimes about what we need to do 3, 4 hours later to start the morning. And we're pushing right now, and if any businesses out there, company listening, we'd love for you to be a sponsor of the Inside Edge Network, but we're pushing to make efforts here for the people around us, everybody around us, everybody above us, Peter, Pete, the owner of the Inside Edge Network, and everybody. We're in a position where, and I'm so irritated, we're in a position where we're working our asses off every day. And we got guys, and that's our comparison. While we're building, just like the Cavaliers built their core 4, we have our core whatever with the 13 shows we have. We're building and we're trying to get the next step. And we are so dedicated to understanding this is an opportunity. However, we have a professional basketball team that still doesn't grasp the idea that they are literally 4, and it could have been 3 if they wouldn't have screwed up game 1, but 4 wins away from the first NBA Finals in 10 years. And 8 years. And I just don't understand how they don't grasp this opportunity.
Because we, as fans, are more angry at the situation than they are.
Yes.
And I think they believe that they're smarter than the rest of us. So they don't, it goes back to the Donovan Mitchell doesn't believe in pressure. It goes back to it goes back to a lot of things. We don't have a dog on this team. We don't have a Draymond Green on this team. We don't have somebody on this team that could, shake things up. I mean, the closest thing in terms of like motivational leader, is Donovan and maybe Dennis Schroeder. But that's it. And then Dennis Schroeder struggling offensively, so that doesn't help. So this team, they don't, it's just all we got to make. Matter of fact, play Jared Allen 01 for me, please.
Yeah, absolutely. Here we go. Jared Allen 01.
Just our inability to make shots tonight. We all said in the locker room, we did our you're going to hear it over and over again. The processors, right? We truly believe in that. Just couldn't make shots. We got stops when they went on runs. We did everything right. Just couldn't make shots.
You didn't do everything right. That's the problem. You didn't do everything right. Who's stopping Josh Hart?
Yeah.
You're not doing we can shoot our way out of problems. Well, where's your defense where you're giving up 18 straight points in the third quarter? After finishing game 1 on a 44-11 run by New York.
Yeah,
to shoot your way out of those problems. All you needed was a couple of defensive stops, a timeout, and then you can figure something out.
And we're not Boston. We're not on these teams, even San Antonio, that can shoot their way out of problems. We are a team that needs to get back into the paint, control the front court, and that's how it should be dictated. It should be dictated from the start of the game, and it was with Evan Mobley. And then he disappeared, completely disappeared. And that's why, and I know we've talked about it for weeks now at this point, but if anybody brings up the Victor Wembanyama comparison ever again, I'm just going to laugh. It's not Evan Mobley, and I know Kyle's brought up Chris Bosh. Respectfully, he's not even Chris Bosh.
Yeah, I can entertain that conversation.
He won games for the Miami Heat at times. He hit big buckets. Chris Bosh wasn't shrinking away from the moment. He understood his role, but he also stepped up. Evan Mobley was just as good as sitting on the bench for the rest of the game. I don't understand it. And you know what? We don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, so we're not going to put anybody's feet to the fire. So you know what? They can all hold hands, sing Kumbaya as they're walking out of Cleveland. Because I just am over it. I'm over it. If you want to contract James Harden, go to Washington or Utah. If these guys want to be nice guys, go be nice guys. I'm sure there's some franchises that want to get to the second round that have never been there. But unfortunately, we want more here in Cleveland at this point. And there's guys that can get us to the next level. And maybe they aren't Donovan Mitchell, James Harden, Jared Allen, and Evan Mobley.
And I'm reacting. People forget about Chris Bosh. Chris Bosh, when he was alone in Toronto, was a beast.
Oh, yeah.
And like Chris Bosh, and people just think, he was just the third guy with Miami. And he was, but him being your third guy with Miami, once they figured things out as a team, tough player. But I'm just, I'm watching how Dan Gilbert, I'm just trying to read body language. I'm seeing what he's doing. And I think we're at the point right now, and I know you said it probably 2 weeks before people were ready to hear it, but I think right now, Dan Gilbert, he is setting himself up where he loves hard. I mean, if you want to use relationship terms, he is loving hard. He fully believes this group can work, and we're going to make it work. We're going to get to the wedding day. We're going to get to the ceremony. It's going to happen, even though all the signs point to this relationship as a disaster. But we're going to try to make this work. And when he stood up on the wedding day, or he just doesn't make it to the wedding day because, he didn't make it to the finals, didn't make the championship, he's going to be heartbroken. And I'm very curious how he handles this because it's going to be rough.
Yeah.
I don't know what I don't know. I don't know if he wants a total rebuild type situation, but I can say that core four as is, head coach as is, general manager as is.
Yeah, I mean, Double A, and I understand the rebuild. I don't think he wants to rebuild either, but the Cavaliers have enough assets to retool. You hear all the time about retool versus rebuild. The Cleveland Browns, they rebuild. Those teams rebuild. Other good teams, to use, an NFL comparison, like, the Patriots or these other teams, they retool. You look at the Cleveland Cavaliers, they're in a position where they can retool. You don't have to blow this whole thing up. I think Max Strus can stay. He provides a lot of value. He's been shooting the ball very poorly in this series, but I think he provides a lot of value. I think some of these guys, Money Merrill, I think you can keep Sam Merrill. You can keep some of these guys, around. That's fine. Jalen Tyson, keep him around. You just need a change in the lack of leadership. There is no responsibility or, hey, get your bleep together. Get your bleep together. Hey, I'm mad at you. Look at Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I know I give him a hard time, especially on primetime yesterday, about him not being deserving of the MVP over Victor Wembanyama. But look at him yesterday. Yes. You look at him yesterday, though. He's yelling at Jared McCain, his own player. He's telling him, shut the bleep up. Like, I'm shooting here. And he had to clarify in the press conference, hey, I just told Jared, you're being too loud, but I'm trying to shoot the ball in clutch time. You're yelling. Like
Anthony Edwards does the same thing.
You don't have that in Cleveland. We don't. So you need a dog in here, or you need 2 dogs, or you need 3 dogs, and they're out there. They're just not residing in Cleveland, Ohio right now.
Let me ask you this as we go to break. And we could both chime in on this when we come back. Out of the core 4, which one would you fight to keep if this becomes an early exit? Out of the core 4, James Harden, Donovan Mitchell, Evan Mobley, Jared Allen. You pick one. Which member of the core 4 would you fight to keep on this team if this ends badly? Anthony Alford, my producer, and sidekick Eli Moon here with you. This is Midnight Run here on the Inside Edge Network. Back after this.
Fanatics isn't just our name, it's who we are. Loyal, passionate fans dedicated to our favorite teams and to the sports we love. That's why we're honored to be able to offer fans the world's largest collection of official sports apparel and sports jerseys from all leagues, teams, and players you love. We feature a wide selection of gear from every league, including the NFL, MLB, NBA, NHL, and NCAA merchandise, which allows us to serve fans of football, baseball, hockey, basketball, lacrosse, soccer, golf, and, well, everything else that gets your heart pumping. Go to fanatics.com by using the QR code on your screen right now to celebrate your teams. That's fanatics.com, a proud sponsor of the Inside Edge Network, Cleveland's digital leader. Clean energy, bold flavors, and no jitters. See why people won't shut up about Dubby. Clean energy, no jitters or crash. Whether you're starting your workday or getting ready to exercise, Dubby Energy helps you lock in and focus. With over 15 flavors to choose from, you can't miss. Order Dubby Energy right now by using the QR code on your screen and use the promo code InsideEdge10 to receive 10% off your order. Dubby Energy, your energy-focused sponsor of the Inside Edge Network, Cleveland's digital leader. Discover our collection of body mists made with clean, minimal ingredients. Handcrafted with natural essential oils and clean ingredients, they offer a natural alternative to synthetic fragrances. Perfect for sensitive skin and those seeking clean, mindful self-care, and the perfect gift for you or your special someone. Courtesy of Alley Rose Fragrances. First-time customers, use that promo code InsideEdge20 to receive 20% off your order. AlleyRoseFragrances.com, a proud sponsor of the Inside Edge Network, Cleveland's digital leader. Find us on InsideEdgeNetwork.com for the latest information on your favorite shows, personalities, and network partners. Plus, guess what? We have a merch shop. That's right, we have network polos, t-shirts, champion jackets, hats, and bottles. Rep the network. Every purchase supports independent sports and entertainment media. Use the QR code on your screen right now to check out InsideEdgeNetwork.com. That's InsideEdgeNetwork.com. Monster Moments Photography is a husband and wife wedding photography team based in Cleveland, owned and operated by Inside Edge Network's very own Ryan Mosser and his wife Hallie. For the past 10 years, they've captured more than 100 weddings across Northeast Ohio and beyond, always working together as a true two-person team. Their style centers on authentic, emotional storytelling, documenting the real moments between two people in love and creating images that feel natural, comfortable, and true to the couple. Rooted in Northern Ohio but inspired by their travels, Ryan and Hallie bring a warm, personal approach to every wedding day. Their work blends experience, consistency, and a genuine passion for helping couples relive their best day through timeless photography. Learn more at MonsterMomentsPhotography.com by using the QR code on your screen right now. MonsterMomentsPhotography.com, a proud sponsor of the Inside Edge Network, Cleveland's digital leader. Whether searching for a baseball autographed by your favorite World Series slugger, a signed football by an iconic Hall of Famer, or the jersey of a world-famous soccer star, you've come to the right place. Here at SportsMemorabilia.com, the web's leading source of authentic sports memorabilia, you'll find more than 500,000 authentic products from nearly every professional sports league, team, and players. Not only will you find your next prized sports possession with ease thanks to superb customer service and tremendous site experience, you'll have the satisfaction and peace of mind that every product listed comes complete with a certificate of authenticity and is fully backed by the SportsMemorabilia.com lifetime authenticity guarantee. Go to SportsMemorabilia.com by using the QR code on your screen right now. SportsMemorabilia.com, a proud sponsor of the Inside Edge Podcast Network, Cleveland's digital leader.
And we thank you for your support of the Inside Edge Network. And don't miss my show, Midnight Run, right here on the Inside Edge Network. You won't miss a single episode when you like and subscribe at Inside Edge Net.
This is Midnight Run on the Inside Edge Network. Here's your host, Anthony Alford.
All right, welcome back to the show, everybody. Anthony Alford, Eli Moon back here with you on Midnight Run. Again, remember to like and subscribe at Inside Edge Net across all of our socials. And again, thank you guys for joining us. We got live programming every single night. This show's on weeknights at midnight. Inside Edge Primetime at 10 with Eli and Chad Bryan. Unfiltered with Kyle Cornell weekdays at 5, including Memorial Day. Kyle will be on live on Memorial Day coming up on Monday. Got a lot of great stuff. We got a new morning show coming up on Monday, June 1st with Omar. We have the return of Illegal Formation, which is our all football insider show. So you'll get a lot of NFL and college football news. That's coming up also on Monday, June 1st. I want to read this here, Eli.
Mm-hmm.
So Mobley, and we got to get this guy who runs realcavsfans.com on our airways somehow.
Yeah.
He's been great. I think he did a hit on WTAM earlier today. He's great. So he mentioned this. Mobley and Allen in the first quarter, 11 field goal attempts. Cavs had a +3. Mobley and Allen for the rest of the game, 7 field goal attempts, all Allen, -21.
Bro.
Also, another factor, remember at some point, the Knicks were in foul trouble with like 9 minutes left to go in regulation. And we were -7 during that time period.
Just embarrassing, Double A. And as you see, as we got back from break, I am just so scatterbrained. There's too many buttons to hit back here. I just don't know what to do with these Cavaliers or anything right now tonight. I just am so frustrated because they have gone away from what works with this team, the pick and roll, the movement. It's all gone. It's all gone. And you know what? We can talk about the shots not falling. I'll give you that every now and then. But the shots aren't as pretty as Kenny Atkinson's talking about. They're not wide open looks. This isn't, not to keep using Boston, but you think about their title run. This isn't Sam Hauser and Peyton Pritchard finding open looks or Derek White finding open looks. This is, please go in, please go in. Oh, it didn't go in. Now we're on the run. Oh, please go in, please go in, please go in. Oh, now we're on the run. It's just embarrassing. I'm tired of it.
But they're not doing, but the problem is too, they're not doing the little things that you need. And again, Kenny Atkinson talked about, I've been saying for weeks, I wish I could grab that clip again from the Orlando game. It was a Tuesday night NBC game where Kenny Atkinson called out, I think it was from late March. Kenny Atkinson called out his team because even though we won the game like 134 to 126, our defense was horrible. And he kept saying, we got a group who believes they could shoot their way out of problems. This is what happens when you face great teams like the Knicks and you find out you cannot shoot your way out of problems. When you are missing shots, you're missing looks, and you're not getting back defensively, you're not protecting the baseline, you're not picking up your guy in the perimeter, you're not doing the little things, you're not picking up Brunson in game one when he's in foul trouble, and you don't pick him up at full court and get him out of the game. If a little thing like that, you win game one.
Yeah.
You win game one.
Yeah, and they're relying on their bench to save them. I said it during the post-game show. They are relying on their bench.
That. Yep.
They're just relying on Strus to have a big Max Strus game or a Money Merrill game. They're waiting on that. If you're waiting on that, if you're Donovan Mitchell and James Harden, if you're waiting on that, then you might as well start packing your bags for wherever you're visiting on vacation for the offseason, because that's where we're headed.
You think about any great business. You think about any great media entity or anything like that. Again, full respect to everybody that's involved, right? But in our case, if there's major breaking news, no offense to, other, and you don't have to say names or anything like that, I'm calling our names to get on the air. And that's just how it is. If there's major breaking news on ESPN or something like that, if somebody else is working a regular shift and there's major breaking news, I guarantee you Scott Van Pelt's ready to go.
Right.
You got to have QB1 has to be ready. And first off, we don't have a QB1 on this team, but you have guys who you should be going to, and we're relying on Sam Merrill to win the game for us.
Yeah, it just reminds me a lot of last postseason where everybody was banging their fists at the table about Ty Jerome. And I know Ty Jerome didn't have a great postseason, but the fact that we were relying on a Ty Jerome game to save us. I mean, it's the same story, just adding different players, and I just don't get it, Double A. Like, when is somebody going to be the man on this team? Like, does anybody want to be the man? Does anybody want to be the guy talked about? Kyrie and LeBron were going tooth and nail trying to be the man. And I know Kyrie was never going to win that battle against the kid from Akron, but he was trying to be the man.
Tried.
Yes, he was trying to be the man. And Kevin Love even at times felt slighted. Hey, I don't know if I fit in all the way. I want to be more a part of the team. I want to be that guy. I want to be what they need from me. Nobody wants to be what the team needs right now. Everybody just wants to be a nice guy, shake hands, high five. Hey, we made another cool, round of the playoffs, and we finally achieved something we've been waiting 3-4 years to do, and now we're going to get our asses whooped and take another 3-4 years to get there. The problem is you can't wait another 3-4 years. Donovan will be 32 or 33 years old at that point. Jared Allen will be on the other side of 30, I believe, at that point. James Harden will be 40, almost 40, if not 40 years old at that point. You just can't do that. You cannot do that. This is it. This is it. I said it before the series, Double A, here on Midnight Run. This is not the, hey, we did it. We got out of the second round. Everybody's safe. This is you win or you tear it down for both teams. The New York Knicks and the Cleveland Cavaliers, and the New York Knicks understand that assignment. The Cleveland Cavaliers are about to understand very soon here, maybe as soon as Monday night.
So my question going into the break, if this ends in a way that we don't want this to end, if this is ugly and it ends, and, Dan Gilbert's going to look at everything, it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Which member of the core four are you willing to fight for to save? And for this exercise, we got to pick one. We do have to pick one. I do have an answer, though.
Yeah.
I do have an answer because I've seen his upside in these playoffs. I think he's had a great stretch of games, at least defensively, where he has made an impact. And I've seen the type of impact he has made in two of our biggest games in this postseason. Jared Allen, to me, is somebody who, if you surround him with, a dog, a leader, you put him in, you give, LeBron wisdom or something like that. I think Jared Allen has proven to me that he could be something special in this league. And that's somebody who I think in terms of ceiling, I'm looking at the four players who have grown. Mobley has shown signs. I'm not going to disrespect Evan Mobley. He has shown signs in these playoffs. But my opinion of Jared Allen throughout the season and now in these playoffs, overcoming those demons from a few years ago, I would fight to keep Jared Allen.
And usually we'd have a big discussion and maybe, disagree, but I'm right there with you. I think the only tricky thing is, you hear about a sign and trade for LeBron. If that's the option, he'd probably be the guy to go, right?
He probably would be.
But for this exercise, who would I fight for? I'd be right there with you, bro. We'd be fighting together for Jared Allen because I believe everything you said is spot on. He can provide those big games. If you run the pick and roll with him and get him involved early, you can certainly do that. And a team with LeBron, if you can keep him here and get LeBron here in free agency, that would be wondrous. If Giannis was here, that'd be wondrous. It just would create a ton of different opportunities for him. And I think he's the right guy for it. I just think, Donovan, it would sound nice if you can get LeBron and Giannis here and he's a third star. But unfortunately, I think I'm just soured on those guys. I think I'm soured on I'm soured on Donovan. I'm soured on Harden. I'm soured for the most part on Evan Mobley. Every now and then he makes me smile because he's having some performances that are nice. But I'd rather go with Jared Allen because he's been efficient. I mean, he's had a few disappearing games, but even tonight, 5 of 10 from the floor, 50% from the floor, and had a double-double. I mean, he's just not getting the opportunities because, unfortunately, we're playing iso ball with James Harden. Donovan Mitchell's running around like a chicken with his head cut off, and that's just the story of the Cavaliers here in 2026.
The one thing I will say here, if there is a coach, if you're going to go through another coaching search, there is a coach who comes in, is interviewed, and he's like, I have a way. My offense is going to be centered around our front court. It's going to be centered around Jared Allen and Evan Mobley. Do whatever you can to keep those guys, and then we can handle the rest. You know what? Fine. And then you could make a case at that point. All right, if we want to lock in Donovan Mitchell because he is good for the community and things like that, you can make that case. But my offense is going to be circled. It's going to be centered around Jared Allen and Evan Mobley. And it's going to ease, like what Charles Barkley said at the beginning of the show, and he said TNT or ESPN, it will ease the pressure off of Donovan Mitchell because the offense is running through Jared Allen and Evan Mobley. Even though they're kind of undersized, if you get the ball to them down low, I think you have something there. Something.
Yeah.
So that's all I'm saying, from that standpoint. But yeah, Jared Allen will be the guy. But you're right. I mean, if you do have to do a sign and trade, Jared Allen could be that. I know more teams want Evan Mobley because there is the potential growth. This is
Double A. I'll say this.
Brutal.
Yeah, my final point, I think Kyle and I are on the same page, and maybe it's me producing it unfiltered every day that I hear it, and I talked to him before the show and after the show, and but Jason Kidd, I mean, he's no longer the Dallas Mavericks head coach. He has ties with LeBron from playing on Team USA together. Yeah, if Giannis, another guy we keep talking about coming to Cleveland, he was the coach of the Milwaukee Bucks with Giannis, before they let Jason Kidd go. he is tied to a lot of the names that the Cavaliers would be bringing in. So and the fact that
He would be, but the more important hire would be the general manager.
It would be. But I just say, with the fact that the Cavaliers locker room was animated or active and all that before game one of the Eastern Conference Finals, about a coach getting fired while they're supposed to go out there and play for their finals opportunity. I think that says all we need to know. I mean, as far as the GM, I don't know who they would bring in AA. I mean, there's names out there, but yes, that's just as important because we need team building. But honestly, I think Dan Gilbert's not going to really care too much about team building at this point. He's trying to win a championship. So at this point, if he has the assets to move them, he'll move them. He'll step in as a GM if he had to. I mean, he'll make the moves because at this point, we're not looking to do a 4, 5, 6 year rebuild. We can bring the GM for that. We need the GM. We need a David Griffin. David Griffin wasn't here for a rebuild. He was here to get them Operation NBA title. We need that.
That would be wild if Dan Gilbert just said, F it, I'll make myself the general manager.
Hey,
that would be wild.
Hey, you never know, man. That's my final point for the night. If he has to, he'll do it himself.
Man, that's crazy. Side Hustle Wrestling Podcast coming up in a couple of minutes. A brand new episode. A lot of stuff going on in wrestling and stuff like that. Myself and Kyle Cornell. We have a show tomorrow. Omar's going to fill in for me tomorrow. I am actually heading to Chicago. My very first trip to Chicago. A couple of my friends, my buddy and his wife, just moved there like a month ago to Chicago. So I don't even know if all the boxes have been unpacked at this point, but I'm very excited to see what's going on. I will give you a review next week of Wrigley Field for the very first time. I believe they are facing the Houston Astros. So we will be going there, I believe, on Saturday. So hopefully the rain stays away in Chicago. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be a good time to get away. I've been on vacation from the day job this week, but I've been doing a lot of work. So, and I won't be able to take another vacation for a little while. So this will be my vacation, true vacation. But no, the network will still have you covered. Unfiltered at 5. And Mike Check Take 2 will be on tomorrow. David and Autumn, David Ruiz, Autumn Chisholm at 7. So they'll have some thoughts, obviously, on what's going on. And then Eli and Chad at 10. And then Midnight Run, Monday through Friday here at midnight. Omar will be filling in. I'll be back with you on Monday. We actually have a full day of programming on Memorial Day. So stay tuned for that. Again, we want to thank all of you guys for tuning in each and every single day here on the Inside Edge Network. And again, I know we got new viewers tuning in for the first time. We can't thank you enough for your support. The biggest way you can support what we're doing is liking and subscribing at Inside Edge Net across our social media platforms, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, all of that. If you're on YouTube watching us, there's a notification bell right at the bottom of the screen. Please hit that so you get all the notifications in terms of alerts. Anytime we have live programming, we do have that for you. Also, InsideEdgeNetwork.com. A lot of great stuff there. You can see our schedules. And again, we'll have a Cavs post-game show after every Cavs game. If we'll see if they can turn it around, but we're guaranteed to have game 3 and game 4. Eli Moon and TK Dandridge will have you covered after game 3, and Eli and Chad will have you covered after game 4. Also, quick reminder: Omega Video Marketing. Omega Video Marketing, one of our top partners and sponsors here at the Inside Edge Network, led by Megan Gallagher, 4-time Emmy Award winner. It might soon be 5-time. We'll see. But if you have a local business, if you're a content creator, you want to get more eyes on your product and more eyes on your event as we head into the summer, Megan has you covered with Omega Video Marketing. Again, remember, go to the website. It's not just the website, it's the email. MeganRG440@gmail.com. MeganRG440@gmail.com. You will get all that information. You'll see the commercials and stuff too. She'll tell you more about it, but she does a great job. Again, the final today. Knicks 109, Cavaliers 93. We'll see if the Cavaliers can pull it together and win game 3. For our entire team, I'm AA Anthony Alford signing off. Side Hustle Wrestling Podcast. New episode comes your way next.
Fanatics isn't just our name, it's who we are. Loyal, passionate fans dedicated to our favorite teams and to the sports we love. That's why we're honored to be able to offer fans the world's largest collection of official sports apparel and sports jerseys from all the leagues, teams, and players you love. We feature a wide selection of gear from every league, including NFL, MLB, NBA, NHL, and NCAA merchandise, which allows us to serve fans of football, baseball, hockey, basketball, lacrosse, soccer, golf, and everything else that gets your heart pumping. Go to fanatics.com by using the QR code on your screen right now to celebrate your teams.
Clean energy, bold flavors, and no jitters. See why people won't shut up about Dubby. Clean energy, no jitters or crash. Whether you're starting your workday or getting ready to exercise, Dubby Energy helps you lock in and focus. With over 15 flavors to choose from, you can't miss. Order Dubby Energy right now by using the QR code on your screen and use the promo code InsideEdge10 to receive 10% off your order. Dubby Energy, your energy-focused sponsor of the Inside Edge Network, Cleveland's digital leader. Discover our collection of handcrafted candles. That's right, every product is thoughtfully created in small batches free from harmful toxins for mindful everyday indulgence. Our candles are hand-poured in coconut soy wax with natural wood wicks, offering a long-lasting burn and rich fragrances. Create a cozy, safe ambiance for your home with candles from Alley Rose Fragrances. First-time customers use the promo code InsideEdge20 to receive 20% off your order. AlleyRoseFragrances.com, proud sponsor of the Inside Edge Podcast Network. He said 4 twice on the countdown. Did you hear that?
I did hear
4, 4, 3. It's always good when your executive producer and the owner of the entire network doesn't know how to fucking count. Aloha, mother fathers. Welcome in another edition of the Side Hustle Wrestling Podcast. Brought to you, of course, by the Inside Edge Network. Kyle Cornell, AA Anthony Alford with you as always. Happy Wrestling Week.
Yeah, happy. You excited? Saturday's main event?
No.
Saturday's main event. You ready for Penta and Ethan Page?
I love Ethan Page, though.
I mean,
if he wins, I'll be really excited. Then I actually want to watch Raw.
I mean, it's gonna be a loaded card on Peacock. You
get to watch
sign up.
Get to watch the same guy every week tell me he has no fear every single week, over and over again.
All right, we got to get this out of the way before we start the show. Danhausen will never be cheered here in Cleveland. We got to get that out of the way right now.
Didn't he curse the Knicks in the first round?
In the first round, I don't know if Stephen A. paid him. I don't know what happened.
Can we get a GoFundMe to pay Danhausen?
Somebody has to do something because we're taping this Wednesday night. So for those of you outside of Cleveland, you already are well aware of what happened.
Yeah.
When you see this Friday morning, more than likely we'll be down 2-0 in the series.
What are the chances they do the exact same thing? They play 3 quarters really well again. And then Kenny Atkinson says, you know what I want to do? I'm not going to play anyone else the full 4th quarter except you, James.
Hey, James Harden, ISO on Jalen Brunson.
Hey, he's a he's a great ISO defender. He always has been.
Spread the floor. One-on-one, man-to-man, James Harden, 43 minutes, 44 minutes of game action.
That guy might be, of all the best superstars of all time, he may be top 5 worst defender of all the superstars of all time.
Yeah, we on the network, there was a stat that I saw from game 1 where I believe the Knicks in the 4th quarter and overtime went after him, I believe 9 times. And
it's more than that.
It was probably way more than that, but went directly to
they
him.
They have a thing where if you get beat off the dribble and someone hits a shot when you're 3 feet behind them, they don't count you as the primary defender. Like if Evan Mobley or someone stepped up and put a hand up, they become the primary defender.
Right.
But they went at James Harden every single play from 7:30 left in the 4th quarter, essentially till the end of the game.
And he gave up, I believe, on average. They said on average 1.9 points, which is basically a bucket of drive. Best defender on the Cavs. If you
ISO. We trust James. Everyone just get off the court. Don't worry about it.
It's not in the rundown as we were putting the show together. What we did miss while we were watching the Cavaliers choke away a Game 1 victory, NXT Dark State finally went through with the breakup.
And it was not what I expected.
Yeah.
I thought maybe they were just going to separate, and the two dudes that don't talk as much were going to be a tag team. And was it Saquon Sugars and Deion Lennox were going to go do single stuff? And well, it turns out Deion Lennox had the dogs in the yard ready to go, and they all turned around and bit Saquon. Saquon is a face, or is an anti-hero?
I don't know.
He's got a good promo.
He can talk.
Yeah,
he's the best talker in that group, probably.
Deion,
Perhaps we'll see.
Yeah, Deion's got the highest ceiling, but Saquon's probably. I sense a shield thing, but there's 4 instead of 3, and there is no Dean Ambrose. It's Deion Lennox is Roman Reigns, Saquon, Seth Rollins, and the other 2 guys are just kind of hanging out. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see. I know focus has been a little bit off on, but again, they're building a whole new show.
These are super young too. I think
they're all kids.
They're all like in their early to mid 20s.
Yeah, they're kids.
Hey, that's the next 10, 15 years.
And you gotta promote those guys and invest in those guys. So I want to give a little bit of shine to, and I caught that. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. A lot of eventful stuff actually going on with the new NXT. It's probably like NXT 6.0 or something like that. But they're off and ready to go.
NXT rebooted.
Yeah. Reloaded. Like and subscribe. Inside Edge Net on social media. InsideEdgeNetwork.com. Remember, use the promo code Insider. And if we get 10 orders off of the merch store that we have, where you can get polos or T-shirts or his favorite, a windbreaker. If you get,
for some fucking reason, when I do the live stuff,
yeah,
like when I recorded the stuff, I got it. It's
right.
Fine. I'm not even really looking at a script. I mean, I saw yours, but I get the gist of it, whatever it is. But like, when I do the live, for some reason, every time, what the fuck is that thing called? It's like a sweater, but not really. And it's like, Eli sends me a text, windbreaker. I'm like, fuck.
I listened to you while I'm at the gym. I'm driving in. I'm hearing you with this windbreaker. I'm like, oh no. I'm like, please, he's not.
I get everything else. Can we do like keychains?
We could, let me look. I'll see if we can do that.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool. I'd definitely get a keychain.
But the thing that it stops the air when it's moving.
I think I did that. Did I say that?
I don't know.
I was describing literally like the Webster's dictionary version of what the fuck a windbreaker is, and I just couldn't get the word out.
That's honestly, that's the worst when it's like right on the
Eli in one word, and it wasn't capitalized. It was. It's really painful when it's a one-word text and the only word isn't capitalized. It's just like even Siri was like, "Fuck you." I'm like, got it. Great. Yeah. Breaks the wind, and not the way you're thinking, you sickos.
We did talk in church last weekend. It's like, well, if somebody can have a new profession, it would be LA Knight. We did bring that up. It's like, well, let me talk to you. Like, wait a minute. Whoa. This is aggressive for church. But some of y'all need it. This is aggressive. But, nah, it's cool stuff. If we get 10 orders off the team shop. This is not a team. It is a team. But the station shop, the website.
Give you long enough, you'll get there.
Long enough, we'll get there. Tell the people what happens if that happens.
We get to shave Eli's head. Mainly, I get to.
Nah, I was going to say, ain't no we. You're doing it.
That'd be a great episode. And it'll be on Unfiltered. We're going to just dedicate an episode. We'll kind of just chop it up, talk a little bit, and I'll get to shave Eli's head, and then hopefully afterwards we'll be able to go to an actual barber and get that shit lined up properly. But, I mean, I'm going to do my best. I mean, I feel like I can do it. I can't do the fade shit or whatever it is. He may just have, like, a general cut, and then if I'll do, like, maybe, like, a 2 or maybe, like, something like that. So that way he can still get it, like, lined up, like, kind of like how I get the fade in or whatever. So that way he can still look like he has some style. But, yeah.
Okay, this is going to be a little bit of a cultural kind of question here.
Sure.
So Are you gonna use scissors, or are you gonna actually use a?
Oh fuck no! I'm just gonna.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going balls to the wall.
Okay, so this won't be just like this won't be like just like a sports clips thing.
No. I actually have balders too, so we can make them shiny. Bald,
Okay.
If we really wanted to, like I may have to ask, like, hey, if we sell 15,
Okay.
Can I make you look shiny like Mr. Clean?
Oh, okay.
All
right.
beard,
Now I
no
know
hair.
the expectations of this a little bit here.
Yeah. Well, listen, this is something we can definitely accomplish. Like, I mean, 10 things, especially if we can get some lower end items on it. Like, hey, if we're only charging a couple bucks for a keychain and that stuff too, folks, take advantage of this. 20% off too with that promo code Insider. Like, use it. Rep the network.
So I did a check, and we do not have the ability to do keychains on the shop.
Okay.
But I'm thinking, you know what? Maybe we'll do keychains as a giveaway.
Okay.
So
it doesn't really help me now.
When we do
so
remotes.
Fuck you, but I mean, yeah, I get it.
Well, I would have to order them in bulk if we're going to do them as a giveaway for remotes.
We're not going to get them in time, though. That's the problem. We don't got, dude, end of May. We don't get that much time left. It's like a little over a week and a half. We need this. We need to start moving this shit.
We do need to start moving.
Like people
We'll
need to. People need to be like, oh, good at the end of May or whatever. Like, no, do it now.
Yeah,
like,
we'll figure it all
help.
out.
Please
But it'll be fun. It'll be fun. Again, InsideEdgeNetwork.com. Again, go to we have a page, just a shop page. Right next to the shop page, by the way, you can see all of our partners that works with us here at the Inside Edge Network and Side Hustle Wrestling Podcast. So
most give you discounts and stuff too for their stuff. So I mean, take advantage of it. Let us help you when it comes to some of the stuff maybe you thought about getting or whatever it is, and we're here for you.
Definitely. And again, we're on 5 days a week. If you heard our Midnight Run on Wednesday night, yeah, I did it right finally. We have a new morning show that's going to debut on Monday, June 1st.
This is news to me because I haven't seen Wednesday night since it hasn't fucking happened yet.
Boy, the love, the post-production, you got to love it.
You know, I almost had the top shelf by myself for 2 weeks. And then Omar had to come in and say, fuck you, Kyle.
I mean, at least you're not InsideEdge Primetime. Look at that.
Oh,
you're covering up Chad.
They're behind my left shoulder, yeah.
Hey, there's Eli, and then there's Chad right there.
There he is.
Look at it.
You could have, stretched it out so it
I
was
tried
entire
to.
bottom.
I tried to. I got the logo in right before I left for the taping.
Gotcha.
So.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's your fault.
I know, it is. But.
So just Omar.
Yep. 9 to 11.
Damn. All right.
9 to 11. He'll have a. For now, Eli will be the producer until we get somebody else.
Eli's duties. You know what you thought after he's producing 15 shows? I'm going to make him the assistant program director, too. He's already producing the shows, so it's not like he has to watch anything else. He's already watching all of them because he's producing all of them.
I know. He's going to be well aware of what everyone is talking about.
I feel like the first person that should get cut a check when we make it is probably Eli. I don't know. That may just be me just speaking out of my ass here, but...
I'm like, if we got to shift over, I could self-produce Midnight Run. That's not a problem. But.
Yeah. I mean, fuck. He may need it because he may need to be able to breathe because he's going to be up until 1 a.m. Then he's got to get up early to do that.
Mm-hmm. We're going to train other people to, may have an internship program or something. We'll figure it out. Monday, June 1st, this premieres. The Inside Edge Network morning show. So
sick.
That will be there, unfiltered, 5 o'clock. Inside Edge Primetime at 10, or when the Cavs lose games, they'll be on. And then Midnight Run at midnight.
We're going to talk about the gap between 11 and midnight that we...
We're working on that.
Pre-midnight run?
That's yes, we're working on it.
The 11 o'clock slow walk?
You know what's funny? I would have no problem doing the show at 11.
He's got to change the name.
But Midnight Run.
It could still work for 11 o'clock because you end at midnight.
It could.
Yeah.
It could.
We ran to midnight.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
it could be a thing. I'm trying to get you a little extra hour of sleep, and you can go back to back with those guys. It worked pretty well.
It could. I don't. Well, I did sleep today.
I bet you did.
I slept today.
Oh, yeah, I bet you did.
Man. The Lord sat me down today and said, no, you are not watching anything crappy on one of these streaming services. Like, although I might check out Off Campus on Prime Video. That's something I might watch.
You should watch The Crash. It's interesting. This story is wild.
I need to be in the mood to watch that.
people think it's like this really like heavy thing, and there's obviously some emotional stuff with the boys that passed and all that. I mentioned it on Unfiltered on Wednesday. I think I actually knew one of them. Like,
yeah, didn't you play at the rec league, Strasville Rec?
So yeah, like we would just go up there for like open gyms or just hang out and play when they had open courts or whatever. And I vaguely remember this dude by his face coming up. Football players would come up just to like, fuck around, play, that kind of stuff. And then when we used to do games for Oberlin,
yeah.
for WOBL and WDLW, Strongsville would be playing some of the teams we'd cover, or even for All Sports Cleveland, I remember doing some stuff in Strongsville, but mainly around the time when I was working at WOBL.
Okay.
Because I was still doing sports even when I got to iHeart.
Right.
For them, too, for the first year or two. I remember calling that name on a couple broadcasts.
That's crazy. And, man, yeah, I'll check it out for sure at some point.
Number one on Netflix.
I saw it. Number one movie on Netflix.
In our backyard at Strongsville. Crazy to think about that.
Nemesis is the number one show on Netflix at the current moment. That's produced by 50 Cent and, the power producers and all that. These are our show's social media accounts. This one's going to be pretty important, the Facebook one, because we actually have some new content on there semi-daily now. Our special contributor, Joe Rickman. Thank you again very much, Joe. Thank you for picking up our slack.
Yeah, because, dude, I'm fucking dead.
He has some really good content on there. Check it out. And we're going to talk about some of the content that he's posting on the Facebook page, Side Hustle Wrestling Podcast with AA and Kyle on Facebook. I'm being literal for our audio listeners.
with your favorite battery and Kyle.
Yeah. But no, he did a War Games WWE versus AEW poll. We'll talk about.
We had a lot of response on that.
We did. We'll talk about the results and fantasy booking wise. How would we book that? We'll talk about that. And then after every Raw, and I don't know if he does this he releases 2 of these every week or once a week, but he does a WWE Top 25 rankings, which I think is actually pretty cool. Like, it's, again, 1 through 25. We'll show you on this show the top 5, but go to our Facebook page. You'll see the full 25. It's really cool stuff. So we'll get an opportunity to talk about those things.
He's like our own Dave Meltzer. He's not a prick, which is great.
No, he's fantastic. He's phenomenal. We had him on the panel show. I think, was he here both years? Or
I think so.
Yeah, both years. We had him on the panel show, so he knows his stuff. He's great. So, yeah, the Facebook page, and we'll talk about the stuff coming up on the show. Again, you can follow us, listen to us, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio. We have something else cooking. It's not ready to be announced just yet.
You gonna tell me fucking anything?
No. Brock Lesnar's back.
What the fuck am I doing here? Like, sometimes I just wonder, Didn't know about the morning show. Didn't know about fucking, apparently something else is happening. You don't get a position one time, and all of a sudden it's like,
look at
Kyle,
this
if
guy.
it makes you feel any better, I'm not sure I know what's happening, so.
Double A's going to start going outside with a megaphone and just doing the show outside.
Anthony's like, oh, by the way, I'm doing this. Is this cool? I'm like, okay.
Sure.
Sure.
Afternoon drive host. Going all, what?
Yeah, I wonder who gave me that reputation to consider, having that kind of opinion.
Are you going to start taping your final segments these
No,
days?
because it's only an hour show.
The last 15 minutes or the first 15
No,
minutes.
but I'll tell you what, though, in June when baseball starts for my son, Mondays and Wednesdays may get a little tight. We'll see what happens, but
you could tape the final segment.
I may tape the show.
Portions
He's got
of
a
this.
game at 5:30. I have to go. So, yeah.
Also, one other thing. You're not planning on doing a live show on Memorial Day, right?
Oh, yeah.
Year one. I love it.
Dude, we're not even 3 weeks into the show. I'm not taking a day off already. Like, we're just not doing that. No, we're going to have a regular show Memorial Day. I'll figure out something to do.
I appreciate you, man.
The news happens on Memorial Day, too, man.
There you
Stuff
go.
Happens. And if worse comes to worse, we'll talk about what the Cavs are going to do when they decide to blow this shit up after getting swept.
There we go. We don't do fill-ins here on the daily schedule. By the way, Omar will be filling in for me on tonight's episode of Midnight Run. Bryan.
At least
I'm in
you've been doing
Chicago.
it. At least you've been doing it for a while. I did a fucking show from Hawaii.
You did.
What is your excuse, really?
I don't have any.
Exactly. You look in your fucking car. Get one of those mounts, buy it off Amazon. They're like $5. Hook that shit up. Click yes in the StreamYard and fucking talk when you're driving. Stop making excuses, program director. Fuck me.
Truth be told, if Cleveland
Legend has it.
if Cleveland would have lost against Detroit, I would have also took Thursday off.
Oh yeah, I bet you would have.
But I'm working, you know.
Nope, I'll be right there to
I'm right
tell them
there.
exactly how I feel. Because I can now. That's why I made the joke last night. I'm like, there's a reason why AA only puts me on 2 postgames.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you keep me away from like Game 7 and
Yeah.
all that kind of
Yes.
stuff.
Exactly right.
I might break
I
things.
was worried about your health last night. I'm not even.
My heart rate still only got to about 70. I had that low resting heart rate, so we're good. We're great.
Ow.
It just is what it is, man. Like I can even tell you right now, like it's low as shit. 53. 53 beats per minute. That's below average. I mean, yeah, I just said I run low apparently. I don't know what it is, but nah, it's fucking wild.
All right, let's talk some wrestling. Brock Lesnar said, F that Obafemi Open Challenge. We don't do that no more. I'm back.
Hey, did someone on the show call this a few weeks back? Or was that just me?
I think in a way we both called. But you said it, so you get credit.
Yeah, because I said it out loud. And
You did.
It was my idea. Right, exactly. No, this was exactly what I. There's no one else that could answer the challenge. Gunther's on SmackDown. LA Knight doesn't make any sense.
No.
Seth, Braun, all these guys are doing things. They have no reason to want to go after this dude. So the only logical person that made sense to answer one or to ambush him or whatever it is Brock. And it took him 4 F5s, and he was still kind of getting up towards the end of that. So it's like, okay, they're going to do this in Italy. Brock is still apparently retired.
Yeah. Love that interaction there.
Does he come out with something different? Is he not wearing the gloves and the boots? Does he wear something? I mean, does he come out with like, the old school like singlet shit? Is that what he's going to be? Like, I don't know what's the difference? What was the point? You can put Oba over, have a moment with the crowd and leave without leaving your shit in the ring. Like, again, it's this idea of they think they know what we want to see. And no, we wanted to see Gunther end his I'm retiring people story with Brock. We didn't. That was the only thing we wanted to see Gunther do. You had an actual path to do it, the favor from Paul Heyman, whatever it is. So when Gunther loses in Italy for the title, is he going to come back and announce it? No, that's not the real favor. This is like, I mean, then he looks fucking stupid.
Well,
and then Paul Heyman looks dumb. Like this is not. It was the only way, but it's their fault for it being the only way.
Well, 2 things. Number one, we did see what we needed to see. We saw Brock Lesnar rip his pants. So we
He did it again?
He did again.
Oh my God! Stop wearing jeans to the ring. What happened to the sweatpants?
Hold up. Brock Lesnar, personal message on behalf of the Side Hustle podcast. You're a big man. Please do not wear skinny jeans.
They're bell bottoms. He's got the open the shit at
Dude.
the bottom. He's just
I think he's doing it as a gimmick. Listen.
He's
he
gonna have a
knows-
sponsor on his underwear. at
Oh
some
yeah,
point.
I
Jimmy
bet-
John's about to pop up on his ass. He's gonna be like, "Get a sub. You're a sub butt." That's
I
Dizzy Mike, but whatever.
guarantee you, he contacted Michael Jordan, and Heinz Underwear is a sponsor.
Heinz is ketchup. Haynes is the.
Oh,
other one.
Haynes. Excuse me. I don't consume ketchup, so Haynes.
I don't consume ketchup.
I don't.
Is a sentence no one has said pretty much ever.
I don't like ketchup.
You know what I don't consume? Ketchup. Mustard? I thucks with that.
These not. Anywho,
Jay's cup.
Jay's cup. That's my guy.
This is honestly.
Well, you know what it is. Honestly, business is down.
But they made Oba look dumb. And he came out and said every champion is busy when Cody Rhodes had nothing going on before Gunther ambushed him.
No, you're exactly right. And that's, to me, I thought it would have been better with Oba. Like, is there somebody in the back where you could have done a mini feud with?
No.
Just something. Like, like
This is the problem because they put him and they had him retire Brock Lesnar. So now what? He has to go for a main title because there's no one else.
He
should have
won the WWE title. He should have beat Cody.
He should be facing Cody in Italy.
Yeah.
And they could have done a Jacob Fatu for Obafemi trade.
Yeah.
And
Hell, you want to sit Shockwaves? Beat Roman. Beat Roman the Monday after.
That's a WrestleMania match.
I know, and that it could have been. That's controversial, very much, but it's shock value. It's
what they should
do. Gets people talking.
They should have Oba win the Rumble, and they should have Oba versus Roman at WrestleMania next year in Saudi, but have like Dom win the briefcase or something like that for Money in the Bank, and like Dom cashes in and just fucks everyone over for the title.
They could. A little interesting development, by the way. So, AAA, what's their big pay-per-view in September? Triple Mania. You notice it's 2 nights, but it's in 2 different locations.
Yeah.
Night 2's in Mexico City. They haven't announced where night 1's going to be. And it's like Friday and Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't we talk on this show like a few months ago that what you could do with WrestleMania is a 2-night situation?
Two different. But then again, that's also like, okay, so who are we making go to Saudi Arabia? Who are we not? They've dug this grave. They're going to have to lay in it.
Yeah.
They're going to be there 2 nights. They'll sell out. I mean, they'll be fine. There's a lot of people in Saudi Arabia that will go.
Right.
They're just not going to have any people will still watch. I just want to know what time
That's a good question.
WrestleMania is going to be at, because that's going to be an early ass WrestleMania.
Yeah, and get Clash in Italy.
2:00 on Sunday.
2:00 on Sunday.
We're going to come back from church and probably stop at your place maybe and watch it.
Probably.
On what we end up doing. Yeah.
Probably. Which is fine. I mean, it's not.
Jake's going to do his little work on his laptop. All prim and proper.
Watch conveniently. My Wi-Fi doesn't work. No. You know what? Everything that Oba has done. This is tricky. This is very tricky.
What?
This part's fine. Get back to it. Whatever. It's money.
Can you have?
It gets people watching.
Can you have Brock lose again though?
Yes.
I don't know because
yes.
What?
Because
why did he come back?
Well,
to lose again in 5 minutes to Oba?
Yes. Let me follow up then. What did at that point have? Why did Oba win the first time?
Maybe they're gonna do the 1-1, and then we'll. Because I don't see him.
At this point, probably
Brock beat Cody once, right? In that trilogy of fights.
Yes, I think so.
I think you're gonna get that again with these two.
Well, if
you're going to get Brock winning in Italy.
Yeah, if you do that, then the blow-off match would be at Saudi Arabia, correct?
Saudi or SummerSlam.
And if it's at SummerSlam, that also tells you that Cody and Gunther are probably going to go the distance. Even a possibility of Gunther winning the WWE Championship from Cody.
Man, you want to really kill business. Let's have Gunther be a champion again. It went so well the first time. Or the second time.
Is Cody doing any better?
At least
he's selling merch.
At least Cody's selling merch. He's moving. He's still moving tickets, that kind of stuff. But Gunther, as your champion, you're putting all your eggs in the Roman Reigns basket. And again, the guy just doesn't show up consistently. He's not going to. But after Italy, that's when his schedule gets a little light. I think he's only advertised for 2 or 3 shows then before SummerSlam in August.
Who, Roman?
Yeah, and that's just the end of May. So he's got all of June and July where he may only show up 2 or 3 weeks. Like, okay, we're right back to where we were. Now, he could obviously change that, but, still, they're in a really weird place right now where they have this youth movement of guys that could really draw a lot of interest, and they're just not pulling the trigger.
One little nugget, and this might be, we might need to see the storylines kind of develop a little bit more. Is there even an off chance that this could main event the Clash show?
No, because they have Tribal Combat and they have Cody defending his title.
Yeah.
Both main titles. This will be the first match. I think
match placement is going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Because if Brock wins, well, yeah. Could you, let me throw something at you. Could you go with there's no way you could go with a quick Brock finish.
No, I think the match will be a little bit longer.
Okay.
Closer to 10 minutes.
It'll be a fast-paced, physical.
Yeah.
Brock Lesnar at his best. That's where he does his best work.
He's gonna put an effort into this match.
Mm-hmm.
Because Oba's gonna face some adversity.
Yeah. Honestly, the way that the Open Challenge has been booked, really nothing at all. It almost seems like now, WWE has been consistent, at least in the Triple H era, of we have young talent, but we want to see if you have range. and maybe this is the test. Maybe if Brock does beat Oba at Clash, maybe you are testing, okay, in a main event setting, what can you do when given 10 minutes and you can't hit all your big moves at the beginning or at the end? What are you going to do at the middle? What are you doing to tell a story?
Yeah,
maybe that's the test. You know what? I would not mind that at all. I think if you're going that route, I wouldn't mind that at all.
I just can't see Brock coming back just to lose quickly again to Oba. It doesn't make a lot of sense storyline wise either. But then again, you know what? What has? So I mean, sure, like whatever.
And
now Jacob Fatu is going for tribal combat because now he wants the tribal chief thing. Apparently, I
thought he said he didn't want it.
And now he wants it. It's tribal combat. Michael Cole said it on commentary.
He did.
Winner becomes tribal chief.
He said that?
Yes. It was in the promo package after they conveniently announced it was going to be official. They already recorded a promo package about, right after about what it means and how many the matches before and all that stuff. And
good catch by you. I skipped the promo part.
Yeah. So no, I don't. And they could have put the Gunther Cody match at Saturday night's main event, and then I would have been more convinced this had a chance to at least be.
But I think
possibly there, but they're not. They don't see this as a main event yet. They see it as an opener or something like that.
I think them loading up this card.
They also, it's Italy. They haven't. I don't think they've ever done a PLE.
Not a PLE, no.
Yeah,
but
so,
they did a great show.
Yeah.
I believe last year.
Yeah.
I think it was a Raw.
Yeah.
They did a great show back then.
So they're going to stack the first one to get people really invested in it. The international PLEs that aren't in Saudi Arabia, they tend to do this, where they'll stack those cards and it'll be really good shows. It's going to be a great show. The matches are going to be fine.
Top heavy wise,
it's crazy. Who else?
This could be better than WrestleMania.
Who else makes this card? Probably Jade and Rhea, and their rematch finally. I would think because Rhea's not on the Saturday night's main event.
She's not, no.
And they'll probably come to a head tonight on that. And then they'll have one other match at least. Maybe John Cena will come back out again to announce the main event because apparently that's all he does now.
Well, what they could. Becky and Soruka is a non-title match at Saturday night's main event.
They're not going to double book that. They're not going to book it for a title the next week.
Who knows? Maybe there's a chance.
That doesn't make a lot of sense. They're doing it for that.
Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker.
That could be the match.
That's the match.
Maybe, but then again, I don't know what's the. They can't keep just having regular singles matches. Like
there'll be a stipulation, but I think that's the fifth match.
Street fight.
Probably.
Oh yeah, an Italian street fight.
Probably.
Hey.
I mean, but think too, like you. You got the Street Profits involved. You got the Vision. They could stack up all those guys.
Are they Street Profits and Vision? Have they haven't had a title match yet? No.
No.
Saturday
they will.
That could have
I'm
been
sorry.
A good match.
I'm gonna cheat and take a look at the next graphic real quick.
Okay, good. So what we got 1, 2, because that's that triple threat match. The 6-woman tag.
Right.
3, 4, 5. Yeah.
And that Vision and Street Profits, that is a tag team title match.
What's the main event of that show?
Penta, Ethan Page.
Is it? You think?
Unless they announce something on SmackDown tonight, Penta, Ethan Page.
You think that's the main event?
Yep, it has top billing.
I think the Rhea match probably would end up being
the 6-woman tag.
Yeah.
I mean, it could, but
yeah, just because the most star power is in that match out of any of these matches.
It'll either open or close.
It's slim pickings. We're not talking about this crazy star power across the board.
I mean, I can't imagine.
You could get away with the Vision and the Street Profits.
You can't even, honestly, you can't even get away with Penta, Ethan Page, the main event Raw.
For Raw you could. For Raw you could. I'll be honest. You possibly could because if you're gonna, especially with a title change, you could present Ethan Page as a true star if they did that. I would not be mad about Raw. Saturday night's main event, open the show.
We've been getting conflicting reports too about the status of Soruka and Becky. We know the match will happen, but before it was announced, non-title, then title, and then
she said she was going to take the title, and Becky's like, whoa, and then they just said, oh, they're having a match. I'm like, okay, is a title on the line?
But I got to tell you, I mean, looking back, so they're stacking up the Italy card, which will make ESPN happy.
Oh, yeah.
And make NBC. Honestly, looking at that Saturday's main event card,
Peacock's got to be like, fuck.
No, I think the contract is almost. Well, I don't know what the contract status is, but
I thought it was like, hey, we're just going to do the 4 events per year, or whatever, or 1 event per quarter.
Yeah, but I'm sure NBC cannot be happy with that card
because you get what you pay for. You didn't want to pay for anything special, so this is you don't.
And
want
ESPN is saying we're paying. Basically, our app is built off of this.
So
load it up.
Load it the fuck up.
Load it up.
Yeah.
And top half. It could honestly. This has the potential to be better than WrestleMania.
Oh, it will be
top half.
No, I think overall
because you're going to have a better. I mean, if Brock and Oba goes 10 minutes,
yeah,
you're going to have
the
something
matches
there.
are going to be great. Like Cody and Gunther is going to be a good match. They've had good matches before. It's going to be good. Jacob and Roman now with Tribal Combat, that will be the main event.
It's going to tell a story like they always do.
And there is a tiny chance. But I think the fact that Jacob invoked Tribal Combat means he's that much closer to acknowledging Roman when he loses. Because now he's getting really involved with the family stuff when he said he wasn't going to. So he didn't care about that, but now he does.
I've always said, even with Roman and Jacob, it feels, I don't know, to me it's like they went from step 1 of the story to like step 6.
Yeah.
In like one episode. Now from step 6 on, it's been, all right, I'm knocking heads, here we go. But I think them skipping steps 2, 3, and 4 and 5, I don't know, it seems odd to me. I don't know, it's foundation-wise, it just seems odd to me.
It just sucks when you know the person that the champion is wrestling just really doesn't have a chance to win.
Mm-hmm.
You could realistically say Gunther does have a chance to beat Cody, just because, like you mentioned before, Cody's moving merch and stuff like that. But it kind of feels like SmackDown's in a weird place right now. Not a lot of challengers for Cody. You know, he could definitely use a reboot or something like that, or some time off.
They need Braun Strowman to come back because he has his meaty meat show.
Well, that was the Oba Open Challenge guy. If it wasn't going to be Brock. But like Roman on Raw, it's kind of the same boat. They've got some challengers in the wings. We want to see that Roman Seth match. We think that Braun Breaker could be a guy at some point. You know, Joe Hendry wasn't on Raw this past week, but he was on their YouTube or whatever, singing Fire Logan Paul again. So eventually they're going to have a match.
And that could be a clash.
Yeah, I mean, they're a guy. It feels like Raw is much more set up with a bunch of guys that could challenge. That I wish were on SmackDown because they'd have an opportunity and it would make a lot of sense because Roman's just not going to get beat by anyone not named Braun Breaker, Seth Rollins, or Oba Femi. Mm-hmm. It's just not going to happen.
And they've been teasing every couple of weeks Roman and Seth.
That feels like that's probably going to be the SummerSlam match.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think that's, unless Braun wins that feud, I see Seth winning that feud, unfortunately, for Braun, and then moving on to whatever. I don't know if they're still going to do King of the Ring or not.
We haven't heard but in the past.
But they also wait. They wait until 3 weeks before the damn show when they announce.
Yeah,
the
they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna do it. Here's the bracket.
Yeah.
Here
oh
we
shit!
go.
It starts tonight. Oh okay.
6 matches on Monday Night Raw. Here we go.
We're gonna get conveniently placed video packages of all 17 people that are in the tournament tonight. It's like, okay, cool. Like you could announce it ahead of time. Be like, hey, we're gonna do this. We'll announce. You can actually like schedule it like sports announcements. Like the NFL has a schedule release.
Mm-hmm.
Make it more sports oriented. Hey. We're doing King of the Ring. On this Monday Night Raw, we're going to announce the participants.
I would love that.
Put it on the calendar, that kind of stuff. That's a great idea for WWE to make it seem like more like planned out, thought through, all that stuff. It just when they do stuff like that, it kind of seems like they don't really know what the fuck they're doing, and they're kind of like scrambling.
We do got to address a little bit something. This is the Saturday main event card. Again,
who's going to beat Paige and Brie Bella for the titles so we can get Paige out of this fucking tag team, please?
Nikki Bella and whoever she gives us a tag team
Nikki
partner.
Bella pulls back Sasha Banks, who secretly re-signed to WWE because she was one of the WWE people that MJF was talking about. And then, there you go. Fuck. Okay.
We get reports, by the way, WWE, we're interested. Dave Meltzer, take it, whatever. Oh, we want more tag teams in WWE. Oh, okay. What's Motor City Machine Guns doing? LWO, what are they doing?
So we decided we're going to let the New Day walk.
Why at 6? Where are you at? SmackDown had a tag team division. They had like 5 or 6 teams.
There was at one point where that was some of the best TV was, and I think it was going either into WrestleMania or it was right before when they had that ladder match and stuff too, where you're like, SmackDown's tag team division is like stacked. There's a lot of really good teams, and
they all have storylines.
Yes, it was crazy. It was like, all right, shit, they got it for everybody. We couldn't find a story for Giovanni Vinci, but we could find it for these fucking tag team guys. Cool. And then all of a sudden, poof, half of them are released and gone.
Gone. And then the report, hey, we're looking for tag teams. Well, Man. All right, coming up next.
Could he be the gayout?
MJF did a great interview. Which we're going to play a clip from it coming up on the other side of the break.
You just keep getting beaten by that typo bug. Getting bitten by it.
What did I do here?
The gayout. That wasn't me just saying it. That's you spelling it.
Greatest
asshole of all time. Of time. Greatest asshole of time. Maybe we could get him to
That's actually a good tease. Is he? I'm kidding. No, he plays the character really well.
One of the best characters I've ever seen.
So, can MJF become
the gayout?
Greatest all time of
time?
Greatest all of time without stepping foot in WWE.
Double A is going to make sure the next slide doesn't have that.
Can MJF become a greatest all of time without stepping foot in WWE? That's up next. Also, sorry, I can't believe that just happened on the last graphic.
That's so cool. That's cool, but also the fact that you consistently find a way to keep surprising me with the shit you type. He didn't have to rush today. He wasn't working the main job. It wasn't like he got done at 4:30 and he's like, fuck, I got to fucking get this shit nailed out. He's like, no. He's watching Love Island reruns and sleeping. Like, he has time.
New season coming up in 2 weeks.
I know, yeah.
Also, the Side Hustle Top 25 rankings. Somebody in this photo is in that ranking.
And someone better not be. Or I'm revoking Joe's admin privileges off Facebook.
We'll be right back.
You don't get consolation prizes here. You don't get a participation trophy.
Find out who's the greatest all of time when we come back here on the Side Hustle Wrestling Podcast.
God. Monster Moments Photography is a husband and wife wedding photography team based in Cleveland, owned and operated by InsideEdge Network's very own Ryan Mosser and his wife, Hallie. For the past 10 years, they've captured more than 100 weddings across Northeast Ohio and beyond, always working together as a true two-person team. Their style centers on authentic, emotional storytelling, documenting the real moments between two people in love and creating images that feel natural, comfortable, and true to the couple. Rooted in Northern Ohio but inspired by their travels, Ryan and Hallie bring a warm, personal approach to every wedding day. Their work blends experience, consistency, and a genuine passion for helping couples relive their best day through timeless photography. Learn more at monstermomentsphotography.com by using the QR code on your screen right now. monstermomentsphotography.com, a proud sponsor of the InsideEdge Network, Cleveland's digital leader.
Whether you're searching for a baseball autographed by your favorite World Series slugger, a signed football by an iconic Hall of Famer, or the jersey of a world-famous soccer star, you've come to the right place. Here at sportsmemorabilia.com, the web's leading source of authentic sports memorabilia, you'll find more than 500,000 authentic products from nearly every professional sports league, team, and player. Not only will you find your next prized sports possession with ease thanks to superb customer service and tremendous site experience, but you'll have the satisfaction and peace of mind that every product listed comes complete with a certificate of authenticity and is fully backed by the sportsmemorabilia.com lifetime authenticity guarantee.
Discover our collection of body mists made with clean, minimal ingredients. Handcrafted with natural essential oils and clean ingredients, they offer a natural alternative to synthetic fragrances. Perfect for sensitive skin and those seeking clean, mindful self-care, and the perfect gift for you or your special someone. Courtesy of Alley Rose Fragrances. First-time customers, use that promo code InsideEdge20 to receive 20% off your order. AlleyRoseFragrances.com, a proud sponsor of the InsideEdge Network, Cleveland's digital leader.
Small business owners are superheroes, but nowadays running your business means doing so inside your shop and on social media. That's why you should make Omega Video Marketing your sidekick. With a decade of content creation experience, I create dynamic, informative, and fun videos for your specific social needs that will increase brand awareness, get you more followers, and keep your social pages and websites current and fresh. I offer flexible pricing and turn times and will work with you to understand your brand and your story. All of that comes from the heart. My award-winning expertise is just the cherry on top. So let's get connected. After all, your brand is the alpha and my expertise is the omega.
All right, welcome back to the show. We'll make sure we have the right slide there. There we go. Welcome back.
Yeah, look at that.
Hey, we fixed it. Can
Yeah.
MJF become the greatest all of time? Now that's stuck in my head. Man, oh, jeez. Without stepping for the WWE.
No.
All right, next. No.
He's not dumb. He knows that.
I know. But,
Even AJ Styles had to get her WWE at some point, buddy.
and Sting.
Yeah.
Sting's actually both of those guys.
I don't like the Sting greatest of all time talk. I don't like the fact that he wrestled till he was 60 means he's one of the. That doesn't make sense to me. I never thought he was that good to begin with. To be honest with you, his best days were in the early 90s. And then his WCW stuff was okay, but TNA Sting sucked, WWE Sting sucked, and that's fine. I can blame Vince for that or whatever.
But
like there was only a short window where Sting was, in my mind, one of the top people in the company.
Would you have been one of those ones? So when Sting showed up to Starrcade overweight, supposedly overweight, for his match against Hogan, Starrcade '97. If you were old enough back then. Would you have been one of those when Hogan went to you and said, "Not today, buddy"?
No, I would have gave him a chance.
Okay.
Because in that time frame, he was considered one of the top stars, and I can believe that.
Mm.
But like overall, for most of his career, I don't think he's.
That's still one of the wildest stories in pro wrestling history.
This isn't LeBron playing 20 plus years in the NBA, and he won 4 titles with the team. Like, if Sting was like a 12-time champion and had all these crazy accolades, I could see it. How many times was he champion?
I don't know the number.
2, maybe. Maybe. Like, no.
There might have been some token runs at the end of the WCW.
I don't remember
days.
it. He was spent more time in the fucking rafters than he did in a wrestling ring. So I don't know. Like, it just doesn't really. Interesting gimmick. One of the coolest gimmicks of all time, but I don't think he's one of the greatest. I don't buy
Well,
it.
he was a needle mover in the 90s, for sure. He was a needle mover. He was a needle mover in TNA, but in terms of fulfillment, honestly, if you look at, I guess, crossover stars who had the most impact, no pun intended, in TNA in that time, probably Christian Cage and Kurt Angle.
Yep.
I think those two guys. I mean, Kurt Angle.
Christian was the first person to ever go.
And Christian Cage became a bigger star.
He earned
in TNA.
A world heavyweight title reign or 2 because of that, because of how big of a star he was in TNA.
Honestly, to be perfectly honest, and we'll talk MJF in 2 seconds here. To be perfectly honest, Christian Cage, Christian Cage probably had a more success. He was successful in WWE, but in TNA and AEW,
presentation is important.
His presentation has been off the charts.
Though he's never
no
been,
matter where he's been located on the card.
Though, yeah, for AEW, he's never been presented as a main eventer, with obviously a reason for that.
But he never needed to be.
No.
He's always had a prominent role.
He's also just happy to be back and doing what he loves to do. Because there was a long time, where he didn't think he could do it either, from all his injuries and all that stuff. So, I mean, like, TNA is the only company that truly presented him as a guy.
Oh, yeah.
WWE had a moment. I think it was the early 2010s.
It was.
The Randy Orton feud, that kind of
Yeah.
stuff, when he was world champion, when Edge came out and was all like, oh, yeah.
What was his gimmick at that point?
It was that one more match thing.
Oh, yeah.
I need one more opportunity. I need one more try.
Give me one more match, Teddy Long. One more match.
You know what I need? One more match. You were like, get off my TV. But no, like, yeah, no, that's, you got a point there. But no, he knows better. He knows he can hype up AEW all he wants. And I there's a level of respect I have for that guy to speak the way he does about Tony Khan and his loyalty to the group. And you know what? There was someone else. I bring up AJ Styles because I think as a skilled wrestler, he has that too.
Right.
MJF does. He has the ability to be a fantastic pro wrestler in the ring. Obviously, one of the best talkers. His character is fantastic. But he'll know. He knows when it's time. He'll make the jump. He'll do it.
Ariel Helwani, who's been all over everywhere. He was on the Netflix card for
a lot of people don't like that
for MMA. He's been all over the place. He had MJF on his program a few days ago. Great interview. Check it out for sure. And he had MJF. He asked about MJF re-signing with AEW. What went into that? Take a look.
Close did it get to you leaving?
Just like I told you last time, pretty close.
Well, when we spoke, you had just signed?
I honestly don't know.
Okay.
I don't remember where we were at on that.
But you didn't go to I thought that you would go all the way to the end to test the waters. You didn't do that. You signed well before. Why did you?
I wouldn't say well before, but I signed before. But
did
not
you even
well.
talk to them?
I can't legally answer that question.
Yes, of course you can.
But let's use our brains.
Okay.
Wouldn't you fucking want MJF on your roster?
Of course.
So there's your answer.
I thought it was going to truly come down to the wire.
Yeah, it didn't have to.
Was it tough?
Was it tough? No.
Really?
No.
How come?
You have to know your worth. And I know my worth. And my worth was built because of the legacy that I'm building in AEW. Right? There is something very enchanting to me, no matter how much money did or does or will gets thrown at me. And trust me, it was a lot, hypothetically.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? It was fucking a lot, hypothetically. It doesn't matter because I care about my legacy more than anything, as I discussed on TV, which is why I cannot get my head shaved this Sunday, because that's a part of my legacy is my hair.
Of course.
The idea of going down as the greatest of all time is really important to me. And I also think that there's something very special about being able to say that with having never worked there. I think that that's really cool. I think the idea of that happening in the wrestling world, and to me, the Mount Rushmore of professional wrestlers turned actors are Dave Bautista, John Cena, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. As you know, Mount Rushmore has how many heads? 4. My goal is to be that 4th head. And if I could pull that off on my name alone and the legacy that I built on my own back, not from a machine, just the Maxwell machine, I think it would feel all the more sweeter. Never say never in this business. Ever. Right? We know a guy who said never, ever, right? You can never say never in this business. But I'm just telling you where my brain is right now at 30 years old today.
Close did it get?
I appreciate the ambition.
The confidence is
the confidence. I love it.
Intoxicating.
I do love it though. I love. He's like, dude, I want to do this. He laid out I want to be a movie star. I'm gonna do this though, where he's at home. AEW. He's gonna do it there. And in his mind, he's trying to prove, hey, I'm gonna be the first major superstar in pro wrestling here in America to become a major movie star without stepping foot in WWE. That I do respect. But the question is, can he do it?
I think there will always be a question of could he hack it in the actual #1 company. He very well may become a movie star, and because he's got that kind of personality, he's good. Like he was good in Happy Gilmore 2. He's got a couple other things coming out this year. Like he'll be able to do movies and stuff like that, but he'll also never get the platform. Truly, that WWE can offer, because if he did go there, he would be one of the top talents almost immediately. Like that's the perfect Cody Rhodes feud. Like that's and under that umbrella with that kind of marketing, like yes,
that's Cody MJF WrestleMania, even if you wanted to still do the stupid shenanigans with Pat McAfee, that would have worked because MJF is a natural heel.
Yep. Could have. He wouldn't listen to Pat, and he would have kicked him in the dick too, probably once he won.
And it would have been believable.
Yeah, because that's don't trust anybody, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like no, I love the ambition, I love the goals, but he's not stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, he's going to say this because he believes in himself.
Yes.
And when you have that kind of drive and determination, I don't blame him for saying that at all. And like I said, it's encouraging to see the loyalty because that's where he started.
Mm-hmm.
He wants to keep it going for as long as he can. And Tony Khan's throwing him a lot of money.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Let's be honest, he probably outbid WWE for that one.
Oh yeah,
they were willing to pay him
the
a
whole
lot,
know your worth, which is important. That's very important
because he's not taking a pay cut. If he goes there at some point and they tell, "Hey, can you take like?" They'll be like, "Fuck no,
no."
You kidding me? Why would you? They wouldn't even ask him, just like they wouldn't ask Roman.
And we know this even with professional lives here and things like that. People do talk. There were probably people in WWE, fellow wrestlers in WWE, who probably, they won't say it on the record ever, but probably texted MJF. It was like, stay over there. You're going to get paid. Stay over there.
Well, he's not.
I would love for you to be here, but
I have an inkling to believe that he didn't really ever let it get too deep. He's got contacts in WWE he's talked to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's a big fan of Bruce Pritchard.
It sounded like from the interview that it never went.
It was never serious.
It never went deep.
And that's credit to him for letting, and honestly for Tony for a little bit too, for letting that story get as serious as it did. One of the few times Tony hasn't fumbled.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you recall, this was back we started Side Hustle in 2024, January, February of 2024.
Yeah, we were waiting.
And they played this out on television. And it almost felt like a negotiating ploy, not just by MJF, but by Tony Khan to drive, basically to make sure WWE stays out of it.
Yeah,
basically. But what he wants to do, I think the platform thing's interesting, very interesting. It will depend on AEW's front on their television future, not necessarily in terms of, will they be on TV? They'll be on television.
Maybe.
But what happens with Warner Brothers Discovery and Paramount when they merge?
Yeah.
And that should be closing based on the trades by the end of September.
Okay.
So what happens there? And you still got to fulfill a contract. So it's not like they merge.
It was a 3-year deal, right?
I think it's up in 2028. Or 7.
I think it's 7. And honestly, his contract, if he signed what I would assume to be a 4 to 5 year deal in 2024, he'll be there till 29.
I do want to address one other thing, and I did not submit this clip. I should have. But he also mentioned, he used the Pepsi and Coca-Cola comparison. I like the analogy. It was like, okay, he gave big props to Nick Khan.
One's Mug Zero, the other one is a flat Sprite from McDonald's.
and he had the napkins and stuff. It's like, well, this is AEW, this is WWE, this is AEW, and Nick Khan wants you to do that. You can enjoy. I think here's the thing for people who try. And we've tried for forever, and people will still try. All right, WWE's down creatively. WWE's down. All right, let's give AEW a shot. And I can't tell you how many times,
Max, no one's watching your show and saying, "Oh, okay." People aren't doing that. People are watching your show and giving it a chance and going, "Wow, that's pretty fucking stupid." There was a couple nice things on there, but I don't know if I could watch it. Dude, it's a hard show to watch. It really is. A lot of it doesn't make a lot of sense. You don't have a lot of stars. Like, I'm just being honest.
Mm-hmm.
I say Will Ospreay isn't a star because he's not in the United States. He just isn't. I know if Roman Reigns, if Cody Rhodes, hell now if Oba Femi walks down the street, someone's going to stop him and try and take a picture.
Right.
Will Ospreay walks down the street, I don't think anyone's fucking been like, "Oh my God, Will Ospreay." Like, it just doesn't happen.
So I'm trying to, okay, so this is from April 29th. because I was hearing reports like a couple months ago, AEW ratings are up, and that was when MJF was champion.
Yeah.
They were up. They were up. Full credit.
Mind you, up is not like a crazy number. They were back to around 700,000, which is what NXT was getting. So they're kind of still competing with the developmental of WWE.
So this article here, AEW from Forbes.com, from April 29th, AEW Dynamite ratings are plummeting. They're down. AEW Dynamite viewership has fallen almost 20% since the March 25th surge. Dynamite ratings fell 13% after Darby Allin defeated MJF for the AEW title.
Sounds like a title change this weekend. Is in order.
And in addition, the disappearance of Ronda Rousey and Toni Storm have hurt interest in AEW.
Which Rousey wasn't going to do anything. That was a one-off. And Toni, I mean, again, he kind of ran her rampant for a few years there, and now she really doesn't have anything to go off of because she's not in the title picture.
So the... Oh, this is bad. Okay, so...
20% of the 700,000 is a lot of people.
So on March 25th, AEW, to their credit, they had 765,000 viewers for Dynamite. For them, that's a big number.
That's a decent number for them.
That should be beating NXT.
Which, NXT, again, this whole thing, remember, TBS versus the CW.
Mm-hmm.
How many people are watching TBS and TNT over the CW in general? Like, the fact that NXT's pulling 700K is crazy.
So on April 15th, they pulled in 710. And that was the night where Darby defeated MJF for the title.
Okay, so they were already kind of going down a little bit.
Yeah. The following week, April 22nd, 617,000.
They lost 100,000 people in a week after Darby Allin won the title because why do we care that Darby won the title?
And they're trying to the article is trying to portray that it was the Ronda Rousey
you can't say
factor too.
You can't say it's NBA anymore because fucking Turner doesn't have it. So you can't say that that's the reason why your ratings are dropping because people are watching it on that instead of that. No, they're just not watching Turner anymore because it's not even on the network anymore.
Now, what I will encourage AEW to do, they did the whole fairway to whatever.
Make MJF champion?
That's number one. Step one is make MJF champion.
No, they can do it on Sunday.
Correct the wrong, okay? This hair makes money, okay? Don't get rid of that hair. It makes money, okay? Unless he wants to go bald. But still give him
I
the
doubt
title.
Alicia's like, you know what I want you to do? Shave your fucking head. No.
I mean, do you go, okay, so if you were wrestling, and this is assuming that you have money-making hair.
I do, but when it grows out, it looks nice.
Okay,
like,
yeah.
I have a full, you've seen, I have a full head of hair.
We've seen it 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. Like the last week on this show, you could see
Yeah,
it.
we
Like,
saw it.
Like,
So-
I have the ability to, when it grows out, it's full, it's nice. I don't have any spots anywhere. I can make it look nice, but I just fucking hate having long hair.
Okay, so if you have money-making hair, and you go up to, and you want to get a haircut, do you have to almost go to your promoter and approve the haircut?
Depending on what kind of haircut.
Okay.
If I'm getting the sides tapered, probably not.
So,
but
I'll just take you, for example. You have a buzz cut, which would mean you would be turning heel if you were wrestling. This is a heel CM Punk haircut.
Okay.
Like, if you're getting a buzz cut, you're turning heel.
Well, watch the Cavs Game 1 postgame coverage. You can see how heel I get.
Yeah, that was a heel promo. That first 20 minutes, we were concerned for your health.
I may pop in Game 2 because I got nothing going on last night. Maybe depending on how it goes. Maybe you guys saw me on Game 2 as well. I'll be like, hey, Eli, send me the link.
No, Rob found the link, by the way. That was I didn't see his text till after the show. It's like, oh, yeah, where's the link? But, okay, MJF, you need to make him champ. But what will help AEW for viewers who are trying to find an alternative to WWE, do some of the other creative things, at least give it a shot.
Yeah.
Right? Give it a shot. They're doing an event in Minnesota with the Twins coming up in July. It's like a brawl at the ballpark. I think that's
at the ballpark.
I think that's the name of the event.
Brawl at the ballpark? All the guys are going to wear bras and they're going to show up.
Oh yeah.
Brawl?
Yeah, they're doing.
I hope
doing
it's brawl because I don't want to see MJF in a bra.
No, but they're going to do some. They're doing an event.
It's a
there.
brazier, you mark.
They're doing an event there. What makes it? I think somebody in the comment section said, "Oh, they made the announcement in front of an empty stadium. Oh, this will fit right in."
No, someone said they're making an announcement in the empty stadium.
But
Mom, where's my meatloaf?
But we'll see what happens. I mean, listen. Double or Nothing is this Sunday.
Boy, I could not care. What's even on the card besides this match?
That's a good question.
Isn't the Edge and Christian tag team, if they lose, they're no longer a tag team match? Is that finally going to happen? Or did that happen on a Dynamite or a Collision? I have no fucking clue.
Several times.
It's the only two matches I know about. I think they're having a fatal four-way for the Women's Championship with 3 people that I think Statlander's in that match, maybe. I don't know. Like, again, they've done a great job of promoting this match, but the entire rest of the card, who gives a fuck?
I mean, MJF.
That's the only match I care about.
He kind of switched up, too, with the hair, even with the clip that we just played.
He's got longer hair now, yeah.
Let me quickly look at it. Let's see. And remember, it's an AEW card, so it's like 3,000 matches. Let's see. FTR versus Cage and Cope.
I'm yawning because I'm already tired just thinking about this fucking pay-per-view.
Oh, here we go. Will Ospreay versus Samoa Joe in the Owen Hart Men's Cup quarterfinal.
The guy who broke his neck and still technically isn't cleared is going to wrestle Samoa Joe. Makes a lot of sense.
All right, 8 matches.
For now, there's still
manageable card.
We're recording this Wednesday evening. They still have to do a Dynamite tonight, and there's a Collision that's going to air on Saturday. So
all right, so 13 matches. All right.
Don't forget about the pre-show.
Don't forget about it.
5-match fucking pre-show.
So our special contributor, Joe Rickman, again, great job on his part. He's been putting in a lot of work on our Facebook page. You want to go to our Facebook page, get some of our latest content. And this is one of the things he put together. He actually had a poll.
What a fucking lopsided match. I'm sorry.
So it's a 5-on-5 War Games match. I don't believe that's Obafemi. That was generated by AI, this card. But
is that Kofi? Looks like Kofi and Oba had a kid.
Probably. I thought it was Kenyu Carver.
That's
Obafemi.
That's Koba King Femi. That's who that is.
Yes. Jacob looks like Jacob. And, okay, that's Roman. That's Cody.
Yeah.
That's 2019 John Moxley.
Yeah, when he had hair.
MJF, Kenny Omega. There's your world champion, Darby. And then Swerve Strickland there at the end.
What a terrible match. What an awful match.
So let me go to our Facebook and look at our...
Oh, the poll's rough.
Look at our results.
It's bad. Like, I think 70% voted for WWE in this.
That sounds right here. Let's see what happened. I don't have the percentages, but it's more WWE than AEW.
Let me see. %73%.
Okay.
And there was like hundreds of votes.
There was a lot of votes.
There's a lot of votes on this.
Great job, Joe Rickman.
Yeah, good poll.
Great
buddy.
job, seriously.
Yeah. This is 73%, and we're talking hundreds of people voting in on this.
So let's have some fun. How would you book it?
I wouldn't. This is very lopsided. The star power, the 5 biggest stars are all on WWE's side. Like, and it's not even close. And Gunther's the 5th biggest star in that group. Like, John Moxley doesn't have to draw anymore. MJF is close for me, but also he's the only person in that lineup. You can maybe get away with Moxley, but he has to come out as Dean Ambrose.
That won't happen.
Which you won't. So, I mean, like, that's the only person that can maybe rival one of those other 5 guys on the WWE side. But Roman's a bigger star than any of those 5. Cody is a more household name and a bigger star than any of those 5.
I think MJF's a bigger star than Gunther. That's the only one
I don't know.
That's the only one I would argue.
I don't know.
That's the only one I would argue. Just because MJF has done more.
I'd listen. Well, has he? Has he?
In totality, in terms of pro wrestling and in Hollywood, yes. MJF?
Hollywood may be okay, but again,
in terms of
I
total
don't know
package.
if MJF and Gunther are walking down a street, this is my street test. Like, are you going to stop and be like, oh my God, like the regular person? I don't know.
MJF, I would. MJF, I
We
would.
yeah, but I don't know if like the random person walking down would recognize either one of them. To be honest with you.
Okay.
But
I would say they would stop for Gunther. They wouldn't stop for him.
No, they'd stop for Roman. They'd stop for Cody. Maybe Oba now because he's just been an overnight sensation.
Oh, they would stop for Oba.
Yeah, but no one's stopping.
And then do the walk.
No one's stopping for Kenny Omega. No one's stopping for.
Oh,
Darby.
there are people. There are certain people who would stop for Kenny Omega.
Yeah,
those are fighting words for some people.
But they're busy in their parents' basement. And they haven't seen sunlight in about 3 months.
Well, when they go outside, I mean, at some point you do have to go outside, Kyle.
Grass. Those people don't touch grass. They touch the cold cement of their mother's basement.
Listen, sometimes it is summertime. At some point, you do got to go outside.
It's hot.
The AC doesn't work.
Hey, listen,
you got to step outside.
They wear all black and they're in their mom's basement. They're not going outside in the summer. They're coming out in the winter.
Sometimes you got to go to McDonald's, okay? I mean,
no,
never mind. It's DoorDash.
They're
season.
DoorDashing that shit. They're Grubhubbing. They're Instacarting it.
Do people walk to fast food restaurants anymore?
Fuck no. Absolutely not. No.
People do not walk to fast food restaurants anymore. I remember if I wanted McDonald's, I had to. I would tell them, hey, can we get McDonald's? Sure, you can walk.
Only
20 minutes.
Only place 4 out of the 5 people. I'd say 3 out of the 5 people on the AEW side are over as an AEW event. And even then, crowds are smaller. It's not that good unless it's a pay-per-view. And even then, their pay-per-views they draw less than the normal weekly shows on Raw or SmackDown. So MJF is the one guy that you could say maybe has some pull over.
That's the only one I would even book to be like in the
someone over Gunther or maybe even Jacob at that point, because I mean Jacob still is in the process of getting nationally over because this feud with Roman's going to get him there. But again, if Moxley comes out as Ambrose, people will remember. Oh yeah, you're the Shield guy. Oh cool.
I don't
yeah.
think so. I think time has been passing where
people don't give a shit anymore.
Yeah.
No, this is an awful match. Swerve has never been over with the general public. I'm sorry. He had a moment where he was getting hot, and they burned him out so fast that
they did.
He was the definition of a shooting star.
I was there when he won the title. It was a great night.
Darby had a point where they had the story there. It was kind of like their version of Sammy. Like he eclipsed the goal. He just didn't do it in the right time frame.
Yeah, they ruined that.
Yep. So and then you just heard the numbers. Double A read them off. Viewership has been down a lot since he won the title. They almost have no choice. They have to give it back to MJF. Because what's their biggest match at All In? It's MJF and Will Ospreay.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be in London.
Mm-hmm.
If it was anywhere else, it wouldn't be Will Ospreay. If it was in the Americas, it wouldn't be Will Ospreay. But because it's in London, it's got to be Will. And it's got to be MJF. They've avoided that match for a long time now. For a reason.
At least they do have the dream match. It has a chance. I'm going to give you a hot take. You may not like it.
Oh, it might be a great match as far as like a wrestling match. How many times are they going to do their finish and kick out of it, though? I don't know.
Could that be the best match of the summer? MJF and Will Ospreay.
Possibly, depending if we get Roman Oba or Roman Seth. Because that match will be cinema. And not like it's fucking cinema. Like, no, it'll be a really good, it'll be a good program, and it'll be a great match.
Have cinema. You can watch
You can have
cinema
both.
in a mom's basement.
You can watch cinema anywhere. But I can leave the movie theater. Apparently, they can't leave their mom's basement.
Oh, man.
You know, a new shade of white, albino white. I've never seen this on white.
I'm so sorry if you're an AEW fan.
I'm not. Fuck you.
I'm so sorry. I have respect for the craft.
I have respect for the fan. Like, again, we met the one fan on the street who was, listen, I feel like I have to ride with them because I've been a fan since the beginning, but they kind of suck.
You've been a fan of his since summer of 2024.
I've loved MJF since the beginning.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I thought he was great since the beginning, and I wish he wouldn't have wasted all this time because at this point at 30, he could have been exactly what he said he was. And then some in WWE.
But he wants to, I do respect the fact that he wants to prove he could do it without the machine. I do respect that.
In this world, he's still a kid.
I know.
He'll learn. He'll learn.
I get. The one thing that is clear though, based on the numbers that I just read, AEW attempted to steal the headlines during WrestleMania weekend.
Didn't work.
It did not work.
Went the opposite direction.
Even though night 1 of WrestleMania went as badly as it did, and it was spectacularly bad, night 2 recovered, and they made the title change for no the reasoning for their title change, it flamed out. It didn't work. And now you're having these world title matches.
Could have built up Darby. You could have built
He
him
should have
back.
won last year.
Yes, but like you could have like built him back into that guy. And that story, what we talked about, the story with Hangman and Moxley, that was supposed to be Darby Allin.
It was. It should have been.
And now you got Hangman Page, who can't even go for a title ever again.
Stupid. Again, Tony, the MJF's interview with Ariel Helwani, it was a great interview, and I do believe they are doing things better than they were in the past, but it's still not all the way there.
Obviously, they're not because their ratings are down.
But in terms of like their locker room operations,
Oh,
and
sure.
things
We
like
got
that.
now we got a bunch of people that are drinking the Kool-Aid instead of only half the locker room that's drinking the Kool-Aid. Great.
And they like the Kool-Aid.
It's not about options. I've always said I don't have a problem with the wrestlers. I have a problem with the guy booking the show. He still doesn't know what he's doing. And he won't listen to anybody. I have all these people I talk to, but you still make the decision at the end of the day, and you do what you want because it's your money and you're a private company.
John, I'm just looking at this now. John Moxley would cut himself open for no reason, and Darby, for the concept of this match.
Well,
War
there'd
Games,
be blood in this match. There'd be blood if it wasn't AEW's roster in this match.
be blood if it was a Tuesday or Wednesday. I had Garrett Bush on the network earlier in the week. He was talking about like, oh, there's certain moves that are banned now, like pile driver and certain other things. And I'm like, well, if you watch AEW, they do that every week.
It's all open. Like John Moxley's pores from the blood coming out. It's all open.
All right, finally, our the top 25, and this is just. So I went to Joe. I'm like, hey, what's the reasoning behind these rankings? And he pretty much was like, look, basically, who's the most over, essentially, right now, and on top of other things. But here we are right now. Your top 5. Roman Reigns, Jacob Fatu, Gunther right now, Cody Rhodes, and Obafemi is your top 5. Again, the full top 25 list is on our Facebook page, Side Hustle Wrestling Podcast on Facebook.
Is it, Brad, that I want to slide, if we're going off of just being over, I want to slide Gunther off this list and put Danhausen at 5?
Yeah, you kind of have to.
Just because he's, for whatever reason, he's getting all this shit.
So now, don't criticize me anymore for my draft pick last week.
Hey.
I made a great draft pick, even though now I hate him.
You drafted him, and you know what he said? I curse your team.
Unbelievable. All right, we're out of time. Oh, yeah, before we go, never, this is my kicker. I stole notes from you. Never send the Street Profits home for an extended period of time.
Well, they both be fucking.
Yeah.
So Dawkins, his wife's pregnant.
Uh-huh.
Bianca's pregnant.
Yes.
Oh, they're stuck for life now. So much for
Yeah.
that solo run for Montez. He's a tag team for life. Hey, they're looking for tag teams. They found one.
They had their WrestleMania match.
You better get that. Better get this little run in quick with those titles when you do get them, guys, because pretty soon you're going to be a little incapacitated with all the shit going on.
So yeah,
the Street Profits be fucking. All right, they be getting that. They be getting that.
Get it in. Four
letters, one word. Fuck.
Good night, everybody.